Hello, 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 welcome. Only a few minutes behind schedule. I was trying to find a way to dual stream to YouTube and Twitch at the same time. That did not work, and nothing was going well for me. So here we are now on YouTube, and you know what? Maybe this is just where I am meant to be. Welcome in, welcome in. Thank you to those of you who are here. And yeah, first ever stream. I have been for a few weeks now, maybe 2 weeks, just been watching tutorials, getting assets, doing all this different stuff to see like how streaming works. And I've been having a lot of fun going down those rabbit holes. I don't know how helpful that will be, but sometimes there's nothing to it but to do it, I shall say. So welcome to the stream. Yes, as the title says, we are going to be writing a TV show, tackling that. Obviously not all in one day, but I'll get more on that later. I've got a lot of things planned for us today, a lot of fun, but I am just glad that you are here. And yeah, this is going to be a lot of fun. We are going to do a few different things. Let's get our music going on in here. There we go. Yeah. Get some nice music up in there. How's everyone doing today? Everyone doing all right? Doing good? I sure hope so. Do. Hopefully that's all synced up. Yo! Hey Noah, how's it going? Yes, we're here. All right, so how are we gonna start this? Well, first of all, the whole idea behind, starting streaming, doing this kind of thing, is I very recently, as in like literally just last week, just changed majors from film and TV to dramatic writing. So it was film and TV, dramatic writing minor. Now it's dramatic writing, film and TV minor. And which is exciting. It's a new direction, or it's the same direction, but a more specified direction. And the thought behind that is I really want to dive into writing more, want to become a screenwriter, and really hone my skills in that sense. And I figured a good way to kind of build community right around that and do that would be through some streaming. And so that's what I'm gonna do. Real quick, I am gonna check if this is coming through all right. I've been trying to test things a couple days to see how it would work. It looks like it's coming through. It's coming through. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Cool. So, yeah, we have a lot on the docket today. The very first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna warm ourselves up a little bit, right? We're not gonna jump into this full force writing thing yet, because for those of you who don't know, writing is kind of hard, and it's hard when you're trying to go all in without a game plan. I think what we are gonna go ahead and do is we're gonna warm up our muscles, our word muscles, our writing muscles, and I will do that as soon as I figure out how this thing works. Let's see. Studio mode. Yes. Okay. Looks good. All right. Let's go ahead and transition over. Boom. Boom, baby. Hey, we're going to beat some word games, and we are going to start with one of my personal favorites, the Wordle. Does everyone remember Wordle? Do you remember when Wordle was a thing in our lives, and that was like all anyone wanted to do was do the Wordle of the day? Well, that's what we're gonna do today. And I always start my Wordle with a little stare, and that was not a great start. Let's see where we're gonna go from here. Let's get a little tone shift. Hold on. We need a little tone shift. Yeah. All right. Turn that down just a hair. Ooh. Stare. Apple won't work. I already used an E. Waplo. I should probably do real words first, huh? That might be helpful. Thank you for the confirmation, Noah. Glad it looks good. What else? Guys, I think I've literally used every word in the English dictionary at this point. Plome. Bloat. That could be it. Or float. Let's do float. Why not? Okay. Adding an L. I usually try to get this in like 3. And so if it takes longer than that, then I consider it a failure. But, you know, the real failure is just not getting it. And the real failure is, you know what, just not having fun. Let's see. Ladle could be something. Lanky. Lanky's a fun word. I don't know if it's a word I like in this situation. Sure, why not? Okay, we're getting somewhere. We didn't get it in 3, so that's unfortunate, but we are getting somewhere. Lady, that's how you spell lady, right? Also, you know what I am realizing? I put like a algorithm thing in here to like try to get the chat on screen, and I was kind of gonna rely on that. Does not seem to be working at the moment. So after we get this Wordle, we're gonna try to see what we do with that. It is the first stream, so, you know, technical difficulties is something that we are expecting. But, you know, you gotta try sometimes just to make it happen. Lampu. Alright, let's be serious about this. La 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 la. I hope everyone's having a good day. Hope everyone's having a good weekend. We're a week away from Easter, which is nice to hear. Has anyone got any Easter preparations? Any plans? Laugh. It's got to be laugh. Yes. Okay. Wordle is one of those games. First of all, victory. Yes. We gotta celebrate. We gotta celebrate the little things in life. We gotta celebrate. Oh, you saw King of Kings. Nice. I want to see that. I might see it this week and maybe even talk about it on stream. I do have some movies I want to talk about, but I do want to see King of Kings. That looks good. Definitely looks unique. So we're going to move on from the Wordle. We're going to go ahead and go right into the mini crossword. And let me just adjust that for us here. Weep. Do. Hey, we got it. Yes, we got it. Yeah, I want to see King of Kings. Looks like a good one. Should be a fun time. Yeah. Let's see if we can get this crossword done. All right. Can you see that? You need to see a little bit more of this right here. Boom. Okay, State School, founded by Thomas Jefferson. Okay. Flower containers are vases or vases if you are from the UK. Crib, pad, or house. Crib or pad for house. Slang? Slang for house, maybe. Pants informally are long shorts. Company nickname Big Blue. Walmart, nope, just kidding. Big Brown. CVS, no. Actually, flower containers is probably pots, because usually when it's plural in the clue, it's plural in the actual crossword, which means that Big Brown is UPS. Which makes me think Big Blue is probably another like delivery service. They like doing stuff like that. What V stands for on a battery? Volts. Nice. Big name in 1980s arcade games. Pac-Man, Galaga, Mario. stuck up sort, snob, big red, also known as gaff, pants, informally, big blue, UVA maybe, Atari, there we go, Atari, that's a good one. Pants, informally, Tron, no, Tros, something's not lining up here. Maybe it's snob is wrong. Trousers. IBM could be big blue, which means big red is Jim. No. I feel like we're close. Pants, informally, trousers. Oh! We did it. Once again, celebration. I will say, one of the most fun things setting this up was doing all the things for the soundboard, because then you get little gems like this.
Chicken jockey!
So, you know, I'm gonna entertain myself. That's gonna be a good time. You know what else I just realized? I was gonna try to record this thing, and I never started the recording, and so that's my bad. I didn't get my first 2 moments of victory, but we live and we learn. We live and we learn. Cool. 2 down, 2 to go. Let's go. Connections. Yes, looks good. Okay. Let's get our connections done. Now, what I try to do for this one, because sometimes it's really simple, sometimes it's really not, there's like a structuring to how you beat it, where the easy ones show up in yellow, then green, then blue, then purple. I try to find the purple first and then work my way through till it's easier. So let's see if we can do that here. We've got present, caper, elder, Roman, Logan, swipe, pocket, typewriter, goose, sans, absent, pinch, late, gothic, nick, and excused. Cool. All right, the first things I see are sans and gothic and Roman. These are all parts of fonts. The question is, what would be the last not as obvious font? Oh, typewriter. Duh. Okay. I'm pretty confident about that. I'll look around a little more. But there we go. I'm gonna keep them grouped like that, and then we can look for our other words. Let's see. Do you guys have any favorite word games? Anyone? Let's see. Got my different fonts here. We've got pinch, present, late, swipe, pocket, caper, Logan. Logan's the name of Wolverine. Nick is also a name. Word hunt. Yeah, word hunt's a good one. Classic. Swipe, elder. Elder, like, respect your elders. Pinch. You're in a pinch. You're pickpocket. Pick. Absent. Pick present. No. Picnic. I feel like we've got one, which is good, but I don't want to hit submit yet because I want to see if we can find the other ones first. Hold on, let's change our vibe here. Ah, nice. Absent. Excused. Oh wait, these are different. Different ways you can show up to class. Excused, absent, present, or late. There we go. So these 4 here. Also, I just realized you can't see my cursor. I don't know if I can fix that, but there's late, present, absent, and excused here, as you can plainly see. So now we have this blocked out and our little L blocked out. So we're left with Nick, Pinch, Logan, Elder, Swipe, Pocket, Goose, and Caper. Yeah, swipe or no swiping. That's what I think of, Dora the Explorer. Nick. Nick is short for Nicholas, and Goose is short for Gooselis. We also have our little goose friend on screen right here, in case we were needing of another goose. Pocket knife, Nick knife, Logan knife. The Elder Wand, Pocket Wand, Logan Wand, Caper Wand, Goose Wand. I think we got our 4 there. You want to hear a crazy story about trying to do this streaming stuff? I was like testing it for a while and like doing a bunch of unlisted videos just to see how things were showing up. And YouTube sent me an email that said that my account had been deleted because of spam. And I was just like, what do you mean that my account was deleted because of spam? And they were just like, yeah, because you kept posting that even though it was unlisted. It's like your account, all the videos you've ever made on this channel, just gone. And I was just like completely messed up. Okay, we got it. But we thankfully fixed that, and now things should be okay. But I'm sorry, there are ads. I don't have YouTube Premium. But thankfully that got resolved, and all the things that are on my channel are still there. Okay, we need to focus. We've got 2 of our categories. How do Caper, Goose, Pocket Swipe, Elder, Nick, and Pinch, and Logan go together? Logan is a type of sandwich, sure. You can goose someone. Okay, you can pinch someone, you can nick someone, and you can swipe someone. I'm just thinking, because these are all like... Pocket doesn't make a lot of sense. Nick, pinch, goose, and swipe. Okay, and then all that would be left was Pocket, Caper, Elder, and Logan, which I don't know how those would go together. So I'm going to start there and see if that's wrong. We know we're wrong somewhere else. So let's... Okay, 1 away. Dang it. I do think it is in one of these last 4, though. I think our other 2 are solid. So we're going to try to stick with that. Where does... I guess Pocket would be the one that I would pull out. And then... Pinch, Nick. No, Nick's got to go with, like, Pocket, Swipe, Nick, Pinch. So is it Goose? Goose? Yes. Oh my goodness. Caperberry, Elderberry, Gooseberry, and Loganberry. What on earth is a Loganberry? Am I crazy? That's a raspberry. Am I the only one seeing this? This is... I mean, they're a little more purple, but that's like, those are raspberries. Whatever. We got the first one. Gooseberry's a good one. I've never heard of a caperberry either. What's a caperberry? Caperberry. Mature fruit of the caper plant. Well, at least that doesn't look like a plant I've already seen before, and is clearly a raspberry. Get out of here. Cool. We only have 3 more, so that is good. Let's see here. Which one do we want to try next? Probably Pinch, Nick, Swipe, and Pocket. Oh, that was the yellow? No shot. No way. Please tell me that this is the blue. If it tells me that the fonts are the blue, I'm gonna... You gotta be kidding me. The fonts was the first thing I saw. Anybody who's done anything in Word document would recognize those. Okay, I shouldn't complain. We got it. And we didn't get it in the order, but we did get the purple first. So you know what, I can't be too upset about that. Let's move on to our last word game for today, which is Strands, which in my opinion can be the hardest game out of all of them because they give you a hint and then you just gotta find whatever the words are. I'm gonna try my best not to use any hints for this, but we'll see how far we can get with just this. Okay. Orange door hinge. That's not bringing anything to my mind immediately. Orange door hinge. That doesn't sound familiar. Yup. Tallow. Copperfield. David Copperfield. Hello. Okay. Maybe we're dealing with some greetings here. How this works, if you haven't played it, is you try to find the spanogram, which is basically the longest word that goes from one end of the page to the other. So like if I were to do like copperilla and that was a word, then that could be a spanogram, and then that kind of gives like what the category is for the rest of the words. So if like the category was like exotic pets, I would spell out exotic pets, and then the rest of the words would be like iguana and leopard and house cat and stuff like that. So orange door hinge, I'm trying to think, is this like, is it greetings, is it social, some sort of social media? Hello, goodbye, kneel before me, president. Q is an odd one to see. Prerequisite. Qualine. Lipothy. It's like Timothy, but he had plastic surgery on his lips. Anyways, yeah. There. All right. Oh, it's so close, but I can't reach the I. Why? Tigle, flea. I don't want to use a hint. I don't even see enough words to like make. There's another Q. What is going on here? Quillip. Orange door hinge. I have never thought of orange doors or their hinges. Arrow. I'm seeing like a double R's here, which could be something, or it could be like nothing on the other hand, which is kind of just how it goes. Presad. I'm not seeing any words. I don't want to use a hint. Loth. Is loth a word? If you don't get the word but you make a word that's not on the thing, then they give you pity points, and they give you points for your bigger score, for your hint, I should say. So Path. Apathy. What is the word? Copyright? I just saw a bunch, for some reason I saw copy and like write, but they are not near each other at all. But light could be something. Light is a word. Why is light there? Shed some light on the subject. The light. I see the light. I'm a little lost on that one. I'm gonna not listen to that ad. Thank you very much. Any ideas, chat? I meant to say hello, Storytellers, when I started this, but I was a little flustered from not getting the stream working correctly. And it's still not working correctly because my chat element isn't working. That's not nice. it's like, how do you not understand that this is where it should go, you know? But I also don't know if it's connected to the right thing. But we stand here anyway. At the very least, we can just chill out to some nice music, right? Right, guys? That seems wrong. Sorry, I'm getting distracted by other things because I'm hitting a wall with this thing here. Lean. All right, we're gonna use a hint. I'm sorry. Of course, flu and hello. How could I not think that was something? Well, we've got something here because obviously these have to somehow be used. Height. Okay. Flu, height, hello. What do these mean? Does someone want to explain to me what those mean? Senpai? No. That was a tone shift I was not ready for. We're now in Cooking Mama. Okay, well, we're getting somewhere, which is what I tell myself when I'm getting nowhere. Simply. Sympathy. Let go. Lath? How is that a word? I was kidding. Quality control. Coping. Lean. Quilp. Oh my goodness, this has to be something. Ellipmes. Thopmes. Bipmes. I really am not sure what they are trying to get at with this category. Orange door hinge. What does that mean? What on earth are they getting at? Yeah, that's how I feel right now. Arrow. I just keep singing arrow, but it's not arrow. Leopard. Leech. Quoth. Oh my goodness. Sometimes you see words and they just don't feel like real words, you know? Quality. Plaque. What? Okay, so far we have hello, we have height, flu, and plaque. Are these like brands of like toothbrush, toothpaste? I don't know. Like somehow we are getting things off the board, and yet I have nowhere near closer to understanding what they are trying to get at here. Sorry. I'm so sorry. Loads. Good try. Appreciate the assist. Queen. Okay, I'm not gonna freak out until I actually know the category. Color. Oh, hold on. Color riddle? There's something with the color here, because it's orange door hinge. Hate, flu, I'm sorry. I'm sad at this. Rithpames. Nope, not in word list. Who would have thought? Okay, well, if we're saying it's color, then that means there's a word up here that's just these. Spread? It's spread. I don't know why, but it's spread. Okay, we have 2 words left. One of them is the spanogram. That is a little sad, but we're not going to think about that right now. We're going to just sit in our toil. Dang it. Toil. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry. My microphone is in a cup right now, so we're working with what we got, okay? Okay. Toil. Lip me's. What is that? Like a Joe Mama kind of joke? Color rhymes. Color rhymes? Oh. Are you... Pilot. Wait, so you're telling me that the category for this is color rhymes because door hinge rhymes with orange. And so we got queen, which obviously green. Hello, yellow, spread red, height. We're just not gonna talk about that. That is some New York Times kind of baloney. But you know what? We did it. We did it nonetheless, we did it. And that is worth celebrating. We did our New York Times games, at least the ones that I think are the fun ones. Okay, so got that little warm up out of the way, kind of whet our palate in the word world, in the story world. And I was kind of planning this stream, and I had a bunch of ideas for things we could do. And one of those ideas was oh, that's a little dark. Don't be so mean. Don't be so upset. I had a couple ideas, and one of those ideas is because I am still in the film world, even though I'm a dramatic writing major now, is that I would do some movie kind of reviews, especially as like I see them. And I do want to talk to you guys about a movie that I saw literally 3 hours ago. It was an advanced screening. I don't know if you have ever heard of it. It's this little movie called The Legend of Ochi, all right? And it is a strange one. It is A24's first ever family film. Like, I don't know if they've only ever done rated R or if they've done PG-13 before. All I know is that this film is branded for families. You've probably never heard of this. I want to pull it up real quick, and excuse me while I change a few things here. I want us to react to the trailer. I want us to look at the trailer, and then I want to tell you guys my thoughts on it, how it was watching it, and then maybe we'll go to my Letterboxd and we will review it there. Review movies. Yes, correct. Boom, boom, and then I'm gonna pull you up. Here, have some music. Okay, real talk. How am I gonna put this up here and have us actually see it? Because if I go full screen, then that's gonna, oh gosh. Oh no, exit full screen. That's gonna be a little difficult. Yeah, I guess I'll just zoom in like that. That's fine. Okay, we're gonna watch this trailer. We're gonna react to it, I should say, because I don't own it. and then we are gonna talk about it. So let's go ahead and pull that up. There it is, The Legend of Ochi. Let's have a listen.
On foot, boys.
Willem Dafoe, baby.
Stay close by
Sorry.
my side.
We love Willem.
I was born on a small island in the Black Sea. People say it's a dangerous place. There are bears and wolves.
It's definitely still got that weird, filmy, like A24 vibe, but yeah, you know, we'll keep watching.
And something else. Something people fear is much worse.
It is really pretty. It's really pretty looking.
To this cause. They say here,
I'll turn it up a little bit.
make something of my boy. Protect us. Save us. We are cursed with a wickedness. The Ochi.
It's okay. I won't hurt you.
Oh, he's so cute. Baby Yoda who?
You're not like they say.
Aww. Sweet. Oh, not sweet.
Yuri, what is this?
I'm taking him.
Oh my gosh, guys, it's Mike from Stranger Things.
She's been kidnapped. Let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Are you hungry?
You'll be torn apart. They can't be our pets.
He's my friend.
I'm coming for you.
Stay close by my side. I can talk to you. I'm not asking you to understand.
Yuri, we're your family!
It's really pretty. Very fantasy,
Just trust me.
picturesque. The Legend of Ochi. Coming soon. Yeah, I wonder when it's actually coming out. Hold on, let me look that up. When does The Legend of Ochi come out? It comes out next week or this week. It comes out end of this week. Cool. So yeah, I got to see an early screening of this at SCAD. Yeah, it does kind of give the How to Train Your Dragon vibes. I do think this is the year and the summer going into of cute CG animals. This guy's not completely CG. We'll talk about that a little bit. But between Lilo and Stitch coming out, between How to Train Your Dragon coming out, even in the new Superman, it looks like they're gonna have a cute little dog guy. It just seems like more and more we're getting the cute animals that are VFX animals. But The Legend of Ochi, I had, hold on, we need some music. Okay, we just need a little bit of something going on. Where's my chill music? What the heck, guys? Yes. Not quite the vibe. Yes, okay. The Legend of Ochi. Yeah, gives a little bit of Earth to Echo vibes. I love that movie. I really enjoyed this movie a lot. I had a great time with it. It is this sort of mystical, fantastical world. And the thing is that the little guy, the little Ochi guy, he is majorly like a puppet for most of it. Just, you know, they really gave it the Baby Yoda treatment, where they had a puppet primarily, and then they did some visual effects on the face. It looks really good, and it's one of those things where it's like you're never thinking like, oh, that's a real thing, even when it is like you see the puppeting of like it moving jittery. Like, you know, either it's VFX or you know someone's puppeting it, but the way they brought it together really made it feel real and cute. As far as the story goes, I thought it had a really sweet, compelling story. Sorry, music's a little loud there. I thought it had a really sweet story. And it's about this girl, Yuri, and she lives with her dad. Her mom has abandoned her, and she lives with her adopted brother, who is Finn Wolfhard, plays Mike from Stranger Things. They all live together, and they are having a good time, but the dad, played by Willem Dafoe, is trying to capture these Ochi kind of thing. And then one day she goes out to check the traps, and she finds this baby one, and resonates with it because it's the outcast, it's the one out, or it's far away from home, and she kind of goes on this mission to bring it back home. I mean, it's a simple premise. It's very E.T. Come on, don't give me that ad. It's very E.T. Just in the concept of it, but and in how they shot it. I really feel like this is a modern kind of like Spielberg sort of film, in a good way. It's really pretty. I don't know if you've ever seen the Pixar movie Onward, but it kind of approaches fantasy, not to that extent, but it kind of gives that sort of fantasy vibe, and it has that heartfelt nature behind it. Yeah, I was actually like delightfully surprised, because a lot of times I watch A24 films, and they're trying to be shocking, they're trying to be weird. It's like these indie stuff, but they don't always strike me with like having that heart behind them. And this one really did, and I feel like they did a good job as like having it be a family sort of film. Like, I could definitely go see this with my siblings and have no problem. Yeah, it was a surprise, not expecting to see this year, but a really good one. And so I figured that we could go ahead and go on Letterboxd, and that's where I put my movie reviews and stuff, and we can go ahead and take a look, see what we want to rate this Legend of Ochi. The Legend of Ochi. Yeah, apparently it was the director's debut feature film, which I thought he did a great job. He worked on it for 6 years, which really makes me think that he literally just like watched The Mandalorian, and then was like, I need to go make this film, which is funny. But yeah, so Legend of Ochi, what do I want to rate this? It's up there. It was a really good time. It's between 4 and 5 stars for sure. I might give it 4.5. It just felt like there was a lot of heart to it, and there was a lot of intention with like making this guy feel real. And so yeah, lovely little film. Not quite the vibe, but we'll deal with it. Yeah, let's write a review here. The Legend of Ochi. Watched today. Never watched this before. This was a surprising... Hold on, can you see that? Let's really get in there. Surprising flick from A24. The characters are heartfelt. Here, I'll say story is simple in nature, if I could spell, but the characters are heartfelt, and I love the marrying of VFX with the puppetry. Really brought it to life. I also will say that the score for this was really like unique, and like there were moments where it did feel a little John Williams E.T., which again, not a complaint at all. But then there were like some really unique stuff where it's like, this is kind of like I don't know if you've ever heard, this is kind of like the soundtrack to Poor Things, which, you know, if you've heard, you're like, what? There were moments where I was like, this is similar to Poor Things, but not in a way that makes me feel like terrified, just in a way that like the instruments are similar or whatever. Like it still gives that weird vibe, but it's more of a hopeful weird than I'm not a composer, I don't know how to describe it, but can you hear that? Hold on, listen. Wait. Yeah, it's so trippy. And I'm trying to, gosh. I mean, that's kind of an example of it. Now that I'm listening to it again, it doesn't sound nearly as similar, but there were moments where it's like, it's got that weird vibe, but it's a good weird vibe. So I like that. Poetry really brought it to life. The score was unique, and the performances were just plain fun to watch. Definitely one I would recommend seeing with the family. Doesn't contain spoilers. I don't think I spoiled it for you. I hope not, because I think it is one you should go try to see. Yeah. Save. 9 out of 10. 4.5 stars. Great film. Cool. That is The Legend of Ochi. I do want to talk about a couple other ones that I have seen recently. I may not go as in depth, but for the first time yesterday, I watched The Princess Mononoke, and this is my first ever Studio Ghibli film. I don't know if you guys have seen many Studio Ghibli films. I think actually I did watch a long time ago. I watched Ponyo, it's called, which is another weird one. But I'm told that as far as Studio Ghibli goes, like they get weird, but Ponyo is like especially weird somehow. So yeah, I try to keep that in mind. But Princess Mononoke, let's watch the trailer, and then I'll give my thoughts. Princess Mononoke. Like I said, have only maybe seen Ponyo, but I can't even hardly remember it. So this was my first real like venture into the Studio Ghibli world. And I just, it's one of those things where it's like when I'm diving into fantasy stuff, you know, whether it's like Lord of the Rings or it's How to Train Your Dragon, onward, pure like going that fantasy route. Like I'm used to a Western style of storytelling when it comes to that, but I really haven't delved into Eastern storytelling and like just like the imagery and ideas that come from that. Like I was just watching it and like the story is really great, but I'm sitting there like, how did you think of that? Like what came to your brain that made you think like, yeah, here we need to have them have these little guys with like faces, and they're like spirits of the forest, these things. Like who came up with that? I mean, Miyazaki, but like how does that come to your brain? So it was really cool to see like new ideas shown like that, and I was really impressed by it. And also the story's really good. It's probably not gonna be like one of my favorite animated films, and I have to like, I do want to see more Studio Ghibli now though. because also I think it's the translation. We watched it in English dubbed, and I'm curious how it would have translated just watching it in Japanese with English subtitles. But even with that, like the story came through really clearly. I mean, there was the clear conflict. There was these character arcs in really interesting ways. And I mean, it is just a beautiful movie to look at, you know? So I really, really enjoyed that. I believe I also gave that like 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. So yeah, a really fun time. There is one more movie we have to talk about, and I know it's the one that we're all here for. And unfortunately, it's the one that I probably rated the lowest out of these three. Definitely rated the lowest, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, let me give us the reveal here. Yeah. For our final movie that we're going to be talking about today, we have to talk about, of course. Yep, we have to talk about Minecraft. We have to talk about it because everyone and their mama has seen this movie in the past week. And let me tell you, it is blowing up the internet. I mean, you've seen it. And if you haven't seen this movie, why not? It is a cultural phenomenon. Let's just say that. We'll watch the trailer. You know, I think everyone has seen this trailer a number of times. I'm just gonna watch. I guess we could watch the final trailer. I don't really want to watch the full thing. I'm just gonna watch the teaser trailer because that was the one that blew up initially. But yeah, let's just take a look. You know, no judgment yet. Pink sheep. Oh my goodness. That's not it. I'm sorry. Can we just talk about this for 1 second? You look at this pile of scraps on the table. You see how none of them are like anywhere? That's not a recipe. Anyways, that's not anything. They just literally threw stuff. Can you not hear this? That might be an issue. That I am just now realizing that you can't hear this. You could hear the other ones, right? Oh no, now I don't know. Whoops. Well, I'll just reenact it for you. Hold on. I am Steve. This guy is such a tool bag. That's weird that it's not coming through. Anyways, a Minecraft movie. Listen, guys. We have to talk about this. Audio's bugged. Okay. Whoops. I have to fix that. Let's talk about this just for a second. Do we love this movie? Do we hate this movie? Do we feel things about this movie? All right. Minecraft. Hit video game of the century, should I say. Up there past Fortnite. You know, this is like the game of all games. They decided to make a movie out of it because this is what we do with things that are super freaking popular, you know. Are we tracking? And we decided to get, you know, our recognizable cast being Jack Black, Jason Momoa, and the director of this, you may have heard of a few other films he's directed, also some with Jack Black. He is the director of Nacho Libre, and he's the director of Napoleon Dynamite. And that's a lot of decisions being made there, you know? Okay, the audio is bugged. I am seeing that now. Is that for everything, or is that just my voice? Hold everyone, because my music is not coming through the way I wanted to. Let me restart that capture. Let's try this. I think I just needed to restart it. I look like the guy in the... Pause. What are we doing here? What are we... Like, is your first time commenter that that's the energy we're bringing into the chat? Okay. No, I got you. The one, no, I know who you're talking about. I'm quite aware a bit. Sure. Anyways, hold on. Do I have to pull it up now? Do I have to Napoleon Dynamite dance? Do I have to? I don't think I can use this audio. Let's just skip ahead. No, that was the good part. Alright, I want you to, chatter, I want you to look me in the eyes. I want you to look me in the eyes and tell me that I look like that. You know what? We're not gonna talk about it. The Minecraft movie, okay? I watched this movie last week with my friends. The theater experience for this movie is unlike any that I've experienced before, and it's not just the yeah, I see you. It's not just the viral videos, you know, like you've probably seen some crazy stuff. People bringing a chicken to scream chicken jockey, throwing popcorns. Theaters have had to put up signs saying like, please, we are begging you, don't do this. And so being in the theater, it was also like a theater full of people my age from SCAD. So like, you know, you're already coming in with all that energy. And it was a great time. It was a great time watching it, and it was because of the energy of the room, 100%. And there's a lot wrong to be said about this movie, but ladies and gentlemen, I think we have to consider this movie an unqualified success. Not just because of how it's performed in the box office, but because as people are noticing, this movie is getting young people to go to the theater and has gotten them to go to the theater. I mean, I've already seen posts that like Warner Bros. Top priority is definitely to make a Minecraft 2. There is an issue in the movie world today where like, why would you go? I mean, the chicken jockey is one part of it, but there is also like different things throughout the whole thing.
Chicken jockey.
But the big meme is chicken jockey. I definitely think I was gonna try to hit it a bunch of times. Wait, can I make it so that I can hit it a bunch of times? Play. Oh dear. Oh my gosh. Yeah, there you go. So like all this energy in the theater, it's getting people to go to the theater. And that is a good thing, because why would you go to the theater when you can just stream stuff, or you can wait literally like 3 months and then it's going to be streaming. Like it used to be that the turnaround for a Blu-ray, like having it on a disc, was like half a year to a year. Like you had to go see it in the theater, or else there would be a period of time where you could not view that content. It like fell off the face of the earth until it came back, and like Blu-ray and DVD was this big revival thing. That is not the case anymore. And so, you know, sometimes theaters are nice to have the big IMAX experience, but then it's like, you know, it costs more to go see a movie, the inconvenience. Sometimes theaters are dirty, and that is something that like factors into why, you know, people not in the film world aren't going to see as many movies. Well, this movie has blown the roof off of that, to say the least. So what are my honest thoughts on this movie? I think if you wait until this movie comes out on streaming, like I guess it'll come out on Max, because that's the Warner Brothers thing. You're not gonna have a good time. Like if you watch this, or if you watch it in like an empty theater, not gonna have a good time, in my opinion. I mean, it is just absolute studio slop. It's lazy. The characters are not characters. The characters are just Jack Black saying things funny and Jason Momoa incorrectly like using Spanish. Don't even get me started on how little this has to do with Minecraft. You know, it's like it's the idea of Minecraft without being Minecraft. You know what I'm saying? But I can't fault it, because it's like, also, do I expect them to make like a serious, hardcore, dramatic Minecraft movie? Not necessarily. They kind of did that with the game Minecraft Story Mode. I don't expect them to do that, especially not with like Jack Black, Jason Momoa. But yeah, so I think I rated this movie. Hold on, let me see what I actually put on Letterboxd. Let me see what's actually. Oh no, sorry. Hide that. What did I actually say for a Minecraft movie? Leave the site. It's fine. I gave it 2.5 stars. I did write a review. Show your activity. Did I say anything? Okay. I said, I can't tell if I love it or hate it. Studio slopped mixed with niche Nacho Libre humor. Jack Black gave this everything. He made me believe in Steve. Jennifer Coolidge was the perfect casting. Watch it in a full theater, and Lord help you if you waited until streaming. It certainly was a Minecraft movie. It's so fitting, I think, that they named this a Minecraft movie and not the Minecraft movie, because you leave the theater and you say, you know what? That certainly was a Minecraft movie. That was a version of what you could do with a Minecraft movie. And I mean, props to them, because it looks like they had a fun time making it. And then in the end, they were like, you know what? Let's just show up to work. Let's make a butt ton of money. And that, you know what, that's what they did. And so I hate this movie because it's not good. It's not good. But I love this movie because people want to watch more movies. And I don't know, I'm very conflicted. Like, it's amazing and it's horrible. Like, it's one of those things that's like a car crash. You can't help but look at it. You don't want to look at it, but you can't help but watch. And you're just kind of in awe of like, how is this happening? How did all of these decisions get made in this order and approved by this many people? It's astonishing, and props to them for doing it. But that is the Minecraft movie, and that's the end of our movie reviews for today. Oh wait, guys, look, has that been on screen the whole time and I haven't seen it? Hold on, I just saw something. I've seen a light. Hold on. Everyone hold the flip on. Just wait. I'm discovering something. Screen overlay. I'm hacking in. Is this? Oh! No way. But wait, I'm making it bigger, but the text is not getting bigger. How do I make the text bigger? How could I? Guys, your chat's on screen. This is crazy. Can I not? Text settings. Size. I can make it bigger. Oh my goodness. People were cheering throughout the whole thing, and you all need to start cheering here in a second, because we have on-screen chat. Where did it go? I just moved it. Guys, I had it here. It's what are you guys? Where'd it go? Where did it go? Save. Phil Handbag. I'm telling you, people were cheering throughout the whole movie, but I would love to see it on the screen with the other things. Does this work? Yes. Yeah, I moved that. That works. Maybe it just reset the chat. You know what? That's what I'm going to think. Hold on. Hello there. Hello there. I put it in the chat. Let's see if it pops up. Maybe. No, you go back. Oh, there. See it. There it is. As long as I keep my head right here, then we can continue seeing chat. If you want to see your messages on screen, you are going to have to put them on my head. Understand? Do you understand? Okay, I changed it again. Chat? Question mark? Is it gonna show up? Is it gonna show up, guys? Please? Hold on. Oh! It's the same. Hold on. No, don't do that yet. It's the same color. Well, here's my solution for that. I've got a problem for this solution. Don't you worry. We are gonna make it a color, and we're gonna keep that color. And we're gonna say, you know what, that's a nice color. That way we can actually see the color of what's going on. This was one of the few things that I couldn't actually like test before actually just going live. And so, you know, I see it changing. It's trying to figure out what it wants to do, who it wants to be. If I make the font bigger, guys, we're problem solving here. Hold on, we're doing it. We're actually doing it. We're streaming, I believe. Yes. Wait. Oh no, there's too much going on. Please, show up. We can see chat, I know. Please. Show up. We can see chat, baby. Saw it for, yes. It was in the small and dark font. You're so right. It's showing up. Celebration. Chat, you're here. I'm not alone in my room. Yes. We figured it out. It doesn't show up on the screen too. Wait, hold. It's a miracle. Though it is slightly off center. But you know what? That's like not even that big a deal, you know? Like we can like deal with it, you know, if it's not perfect. I changed it again. Hold on, I did change it slightly. Hold on. I just, you know, we want to make it. Oh no, that's a little too far. Guys, can you tell I'm a perfectionist? Nah. Yeah, the only thing is like I like having the background be like you can see the library background. But if I do that, then when like we go back here, you really can't see it. So maybe I'll make an overlay to fix that. But for now, this, you know what? For now, for stream 1, baby's first stream. This'll do, pig. That'll do, pig. That'll do. We have a chat. Thoughts on The Wild Robot? Great question. Absolute banger of the movie. This just in, The Wild Robot is a certified banger. We are happy with that. We are happy with DreamWorks. I will say my experience watching it was not so good. It was fine. I saw it with my roommates. We went to the theater, and the theater we went to, they didn't notice it, but I could tell that there was like some weird audio stuff going on where like the music was really loud and like up there, but then their dialogue was not. And so maybe I was going crazy. That was, what was distracting me the whole time. And you know what? That is just a me problem. That is my fault. Also, every time I move this chat, I keep deleting your things. I guess I'm just encouraging you to chat more. But yes, Wild Robot, great movie. Let's see what I actually rated it. You know what? I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. Let's go to Letterboxd and let's actually see what I gave it. Wild Robot. I'm going to leave the site. It's okay. Just relax. We're going to come back someday. 4.5 stars. Yes. Yeah. I think what I'm realizing about myself is that when I really enjoy a movie, I give it 4.5 stars. Like when I have no real like technical problems with it, a 5-star movie to me has to be one that like punches me in the heart and grabs it and like doesn't let it go. And I think Wild Robot had the potential for that. I think if I had seen it in a better scenario, it might have, because stories about like mothers and children, mothers and sons really get to me. And so I definitely want to see it again in better circumstances, but I do really like this movie. I also watched Flow, which was the one that actually won the animated Oscar this past year. I didn't like it as much, and this was another scenario where it was a weird theater experience. I watched Flow while at the Savannah Film Festival, and it was good. I really I think it's unique. I think it probably won the Oscar mostly because of how they made it, and like the technical achievement of like making something like that in Blender. Was it in Blender or was it Unreal? Now I'm freaking out. Hold on. How did they make Flow? How did they make Flow? Blender. Yes, it was Blender. So yeah, I did think that was impressive. It is completely silent. There is no dialogue, and I had already watched so many films leading up to that. Flow thoughts. I'm just gonna write that to see if it shows up. Had already watched so many films before watching that, and so by the time I got to it, I was like nodding off in the theater, and so that also altered my experience. I probably would like it more if I was more energized and ready for like, how long is it? It's Flow runtime. Hour 25. If I'm ready for an hour 25 of a silent film. But if you like cats, I'm also not a cat person, I'm sorry. But if you like cats, you'll probably really like it too. It is definitely a cool like little animal flick. Yeah, just probably see when it starts streaming for sure. Exactly. Why go anywhere when you can stream everything? You're streaming this interaction right now with me. Why even meet up in real person? Real life. I know you love cats, Enrica Gorn. I know you do. And we had a whole debate about this the other day. But yeah, whatever. Okay. Anyone else have any movie questions, movie thoughts questions? Because if not, I do have something important we need to move on to. It is still movie related, don't get me wrong. If you'll notice in the title of this stream, I believe, is the stream still happening? Yes, it is. We've been going for an hour 20. proud of myself. I'm proud that we've been doing it this long, guys. I did have another idea though. And that was to speedrun Letterboxd. And you're probably thinking, what on earth do you mean by speedrun Letterboxd? First of all, follow me on Letterboxd if you aren't. And if you're not on Letterboxd, it's a cool way to track how many movies you've watched. According to mine, I have seen... how many have I seen? According to my Letterboxd, I've seen 938 films in my lifetime. It's probably around there, give or take a few, but I really feel like I've put every single film that I've ever watched on here. But what we are gonna do next, and this is gonna be a fun little adventure. Let me change this text. Let me move that around. We are gonna speed run the Letterboxd and my likes on Letterboxd. I like a lot of movies. Like I just told you, I have seen over 900 movies in my lifetime. And a lot of those have been, since becoming like a film major person here. I'm sure I have many more I want to watch, but I like movies, Speedrun to 1,000 films? Not quite. But what we're going to do, I just start right now and I just start watching movies as fast as possible. We could probably do it. The best speedrun would be to do it with short films. But anyways, I had this, where's this? I had this idea that I want to give you guys a sense of the type of stories I like, because part of the main thing we're going to be doing here is we're going to be writing stories together. We're going to be exploring stories. I want to tell you guys the movies that I love most that are in my liked folder. But the truth is, you saw how long I just spent on those 3 movies that, I either have just seen or don't like that much. I could go on forever and ever about these movies, and in fact I do on my podcast, Christians in Cinema, slight plug there. On my podcast, I'm sorry, that was probably way too loud. But anyway, what we're gonna do is I am going to show you guys my Letterboxd likes, but I'm gonna give myself 10 seconds each, 10 seconds total, to talk about each film and give you an idea of what happens. I will warn you, I have not practiced this. I have not tried to do this yet. If you have not seen a film on this list, prepare to potentially be spoiled, because I don't know what I'm going to say here and if it's all going to come out coherent. All I know is that we are going to do this, and I'm going to give myself 10 seconds each for every film. And you see just this page here. This is the full second page. So there's I think 70 something films here, which, I'm going to be going for a number of minutes. But I'm going to do my best to give you a synopsis of why you should watch each of these films in the span of 10 seconds each. So if we're ready, I'm going to take one more sip of water. I need hype. I need us to get hype, because we're about to do this. And I'm going to give you a quick little what happens, why you should watch this, 10 seconds each. Let's see if we can do this and not crash and burn. Are we ready? Am I ready? I don't know. Let's make sure that this is a good volume. Sorry, I did kind of just spoil what the music was. 10 seconds, light work, you're right. And oh yeah, I forgot to mention the punishment, that if I go over 10 seconds on any film, or I'm clearly talking too long, we're gonna start over and we're gonna take off 2 seconds. So anyways, let's do this. Are we ready? I'm ready. Timer is ready to be set. On our marks, get set, go. La La Land is a great film about two artists falling in love in California, and they don't end up together in the end. Oops, sorry, but it's a musical. It's really great. Okay, Oppenheimer is a film about J. Robert Oppenheimer. It is a historical biopic directed by Christopher Nolan. Great acting, and it's a pretty tragic ending. Whiplash, same director as La La Land. It is a action-packed film, quick 90 minutes, I think. Miles Teller, J.K. Simmons yelling a lot. Spider-Man No Way Home, one of the best Spider-Man movies that's out there. If you like any of the Spider-Man, let alone all of the Spider-Man, you'll like this film. They also bring back all the past villains, so it's great. Forrest Gump, one of the best films that I've ever seen, about Tom Hanks being a good old country boy, telling stories about his life. It's tragic, it's beautiful, it's loving. Avengers Infinity War, oh gosh, where to go? The prequel to Avengers Endgame, which doesn't make sense because it came out before. All the superheroes fighting Thanos. Silence of the Lambs. This is about Hannibal Lecter, the cannibal, trying to help this detective find Buffalo Bill, the serial killer. Avengers Endgame, the actual sequel to Avengers Infinity War. I forgot to mention in the last one, they all died, but then they come back and they whoop some purple butt, okay? Got a little transition here. Shutter Island, Martin Scorsese film, I believe. Leonardo DiCaprio. It's got a great twist ending, great detective noir kind of thing. Ratatouille, Pixar film. You're going to see a lot of those on here. A little rat controls a human in France, in Paris. He knows how to do the cookie type stuff. Shawshank Redemption, probably a perfect film. I have never seen, and I'm saying that seeing that it has 4.5 stars there. Ignore that. Morgan Freeman and great stuff. Up, another Pixar film. Got the balloons in there. We got the balloons going up in the house, and Carl is taking his kid and his annoying dog to save his wife. Inside Out, his wife is dead. Inside Out, our emotions in our head, and Riley's head, and we're seeing how they are dealing with each other. Very beautiful, makes me cry every time. Soul, another tearjerker. Pixar really likes their tearjerkers. This is about what makes you a human being and how do you go through life like that. Top Gun Maverick, probably better than the first one. I know I'm playing the same song again, just bear with me. Top Gun Maverick, it's better than the first one. They shot in real airplanes. Wall-E, another Pixar movie here. Oh shoot, wrong thing. Another Pixar movie. It's about a robot that is in space and he loves another robot. 1917, they made it look like they shot this all in one shot, but they didn't actually do that. It's not true. They just made it look like that, but a really good war film. Memento, a really underrated Christopher Nolan film. You know, it's got Guy Pearce in it, and they tell the story backwards to solve the mystery. Catch Me If You Can, really underrated Spielberg film with Tom Hanks and Leonardo DiCaprio. You're gonna see a lot of them on this list, but basically Tom Hanks is trying to catch Leonardo DiCaprio. Toy Story, the first Pixar film, an absolute classic. We love to see it. We love Jesse, we love Woody, and we love the gang. I can't believe they're making a 5th one. That is so sad. Next, Captain America Civil War. The girls are fighting. They are on two sides of the political spectrum, actually really ahead of its time. Elvis is a Baz Luhrmann film. You might not like his style, but you might like this film. This is a biopic. It's one of the best biopics I've seen. Austin Butler, he's a handsome little guy. Tick, Tick, Boom, one of my favorite musicals, if not my favorite musical of all time. Andrew Garfield, they robbed him of that Oscar. Great Netflix original, one of the best. Love it. About growing up. Free Guy, Ryan Reynolds, he's in a video game. Ryan Reynolds is in a video game, and he's kind of like Deadpool, except a little less sweary. I saw this in theaters like 5 times. Pinocchio, they released this on Netflix, which is a crying shame. Guillermo del Toro, beautiful stop motion, beautiful artistry, just a great, way better than Disney's. Groundhog Day, a classic story. The repeating, looping day, they're the first that I got to see to do it, and the way they did it was really creative. Grease, one of the first musicals that actually got me into musicals. I watched this on stage, and it made me say, I want to get on stage, Mom. And so I watched it, love it. It's super cheesy. The Usual Suspects, not one of my favorites, but it is one of my favorites because of the ending, and it has a great sort of concept. It's really like twists your mind. Hacksaw Ridge, Andrew Garfield, again, he's in war. This is based off a true story. It's based off of a pacifist in war and how he glorified God through saving others. Beautiful. Speaking of beautiful, A Beautiful Mind, we got, I forget his name. We got A Beautiful Mind, directed by Ron Howard. It's also got a crazy twist. mental stuff. Game Night, a really funny comedy. Jason Bateman, if you like Jason Bateman. I know I'm playing the same song over and again. It's a little crass, but you know what? I've seen this a bunch of times. Great to watch with friends. Mary Poppins, an absolute classic musical. One of my favorite musicals, and ties into another movie that's on this list. You got Dick Van Dyke, Julie Andrews at their best, Disney at its best. You've got Mail, Tom Hanks again, and you've got, I was going to say Margot Robbie. I can't think of her name right now, but basically before they had the internet, they needed this. The Muppets Christmas Carol, the only Christmas Carol that I care to watch or listen to. It's got Kermit, it's got the whole gang, and it's got Michael Caine as Scrooge. Beautiful. A Charlie Brown Christmas. We love A Charlie Brown Christmas. We play it every year. It's a classic. It's heartwarming. How could you not love The Charlie Brown Christmas? Saving Mr. Banks, currently what I am saying is my favorite film. I don't really know why. It's a drama, it's soft, and it's about the creation of Mary Poppins with Walt Disney. Tom Hanks also. Spirited, Ryan Reynolds, Will Ferrell musical, Christmas musical. Oh my gosh, so much energy. If I could ever direct a musical, I would want it to be half as cool as this, and I would be so happy. Piper, this is a Pixar short film. We're going to see a couple of these. These are really almost just like honorable mentions. They're not full films, but they really do well in the short form film format. Lava, beautiful song. Have this one on repeat. Just this formation of Hawaii and this love story between two mountains. Pixar loves their inanimate love stories. For the birds, we have a ton of birds. They're being silly gooses, even though they're not gooses. They are just birds, and there's a big bird that is behind it all. What about Bob? You got Bill Murray being a really mean guy to the guy that was in those Spielberg films. I forget his name. And he's not a mean guy, he's just a goofy guy. The other guy's mean. Frosty the Snowman, another Christmas classic. I don't watch it every year, but you know what? I just like, sometimes when something's old enough and it lasts this long, you gotta give it props, you know? Day and Night, another Pixar short, probably my favorite Pixar short, but you know, jury's still out. Just a really cool creative way to show Pixar concepts and how they do stuff. American Symphony, great documentary. John Batiste, he is an incredible talent. Wrong song, oh gosh. He is an incredible talent. Oh no. And he's great. You should watch that. Knick Knack, another Pixar short. There's a lot going on. It's about a snowman that's in a snow globe and he's trying to escape. The Blue Umbrella, actually maybe my favorite Pixar short. It's this beautiful inanimate love story again, and really inspired my very first short film I ever made. Tin Toy, Pixar's not their first short film, but kind of the predecessor to Toy Story, and what kind of gave them the ability to go make feature films and a butt ton of money. The Greatest Showman, classic, great musical. It's not technically a classic, but Hugh Jackman, Zac Efron, a really cool story, a really cool way to make P.T. Barnum not seem like a total jerk. Anyway, Get Out, a hypnosis horror film, probably my favorite horror film. It's very scary, very unsettling. You should watch it. It scares me to death. Earth to Echo, probably one of the most underrated films on this list. Very indie film, found footage type style, sci-fi, and man, are the characters endearing. Chicago, probably the best actual musical film. Maybe not my favorite, but like it won Best Picture, and there's a clear reason. It is one of the best out there. Secret Life of Walter Mitty, saw this recently, really loved it. Ben Stiller, you know, he's getting into the Severance stuff these days, which we'll talk about, but this was a really beautiful performance from him. Piece by Piece is a Lego documentary about Pharrell Williams, the guy who wrote the music for all the Minions movies. One of the most unique documentaries I've ever seen. Wicked, musical, film adaptation of the onstage musical. I was expecting this to be terrible, and it blew my expectations out of the water. Can't wait for the second one. Sing Sing, oh my gosh, just so heart-wrenching. Coleman Domingo, they are in a prison, they are thespians, and they are trying to put on theater in some of the worst of circumstances. It is beautiful. The Boy, the Mole, the Fox, and the Horse, almost took half my time trying to say that. Beautiful Apple TV little short there. If you want a heartwarming thing to make you cry real quick, go read the book or see that. 12 Years a Slave, again, another tearjerker, but a really important story, I think. These are the kind of stories that I think we should be telling through film. We have Bluey the Sign. I know this is kind of cheating, but it counts as a short film. This is the finale of Bluey, and it is so good. You will watch the whole show. seeing that. Still, a Michael J. Fox documentary about his Parkinson's disease and how he tried to hide it for a long time. A very creatively told documentary. I love creative documentaries. Wildcat, Maya Hogg, directed by Ethan Hawke. We just made a podcast episode about this. It's about Flannery O'Connor, the real-life author, and her relationship writing with God. 50 First Dates, the only Adam Sandler movie you will see near my likes list, and it is just because of the concept. The concept is sound, and it is a really weird, cool thing to think about. A Quiet Place, a great PG-13 horror film if you were trying to get anyone into horror films. John Krasinski, you didn't do good on If, but man, keep doing well on this. Back to the Future, I mean, just an absolute classic. Michael J. Fox again, and I mean, you got Marty, you know, Carlos does a better impression of it. They go back in time, and he sleeps with his mom. No, he doesn't. Die Hard, Bruce Willis. It is about Nakatomi Plaza. I have been there, and it's Christmas time. It's a Christmas movie, I'm telling you. Encanto, Disney film, blew me out of the water. Better than Frozen 2, in my opinion. Lin-Manuel, keep writing music for Disney. Keep letting them pay you the big bucks. Indiana Jones, The Last Crusade. I love the third one the most. I think it has the most character, the most story, and it's really rare to see a trilogy end so well. Knives Out, Rian Johnson, a clear mystery. One of my favorite mystery movies, and I really am liking the new ones he comes out with. You should also watch Poker Face, a great mystery show that he did. National Treasure, also one of the only Nicolas Cage ones you're going to see on here. I just think it's a great adventure movie, a great family flick, and sometimes when you're just looking for a good time, that's what you want to see. Ocean's 12. I like Ocean's 12, and I think I pick it over the other ones simply because of the really cool laser scene that they have at the end. The Dark Knight, I mean, probably one of the best superhero films of all time. Again, Christopher Nolan. He's directing the Odyssey, but man, could he direct those superheroes and villains. The Goonies, another classic 80s film. Not much to say here. Kids go on an adventure, they fall down a well or something like that. The Mask, Jim Carrey at his most extravagant, you know, before the Eggman days. Just really absolutely so much fun and wacky. Hope it aged well. The Princess Bride, it's a story within a story. Again, a classic sort of adventure kind of thing. Great characters, great hijinks going on here. Inside Out 2, this is one of the best Pixar sequels other than like Toy Story 2. It is so great. They only elevate and they make it so good. We are almost there. Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. This is like a mock documentary about this stop motion little shell. It is so soft, it is so sad, and it is so worth you watching. Me, Earl, and the Dying Girl, another really sad one, but based off a book, man, is it really good. The characters and the performances in this is like your quintessential indie film. The Holdovers, they made it look like it was shot on film. It was not shot on film. This one really has a heart, and this one really has characters that makes you want to hug. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. I have never read the Hunger Games books. I saw this movie and I just absolutely loved it. Great performances, made me want to read the whole series. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World. I saw this recently. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but I am really just impressed by how they really translated a graphic novel to TV. And then The Truman Show, Jim Carrey again at one of his best. It is just such a crazy concept, and good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Time. Oh. What's that time? What's the time? 13:22. You asked if this is a speed run or writing, and the answer is yes, but right now it's a speed run. That is a new world record, ladies and gentlemen. That is a world record Letterboxd speed run, giving you all the best likes and dislikes. So now you have an idea of the type of films that I like watching. I'm sure all of that was coherent, and for those of you who have seen those movies, and you will probably know and understand that I gave a great review of them just there, because all you need really is 10 seconds. Oh my goodness, we need a little bit of a breather after that, right? I think a breather is warranted. Can we just turn on some like... Oh, we're gonna take it down now. Take it down a notch, take it down a notch. That was a world record speed run, 100%. I was actually kind of going into it a little cocky. I was kind of like, 10 seconds, that's gonna be way too much time. Like, I'm gonna fly through that. I'm gonna have to cut this down to like 5 seconds. No. Peace. Yes, peace. Tranquility. Yes, we did that. Okay. Now you guys know a little bit of the stories that are appealing to me, and specifically through film, because we are primarily going to be doing screenwriting here. And that's kind of what I want to talk about next. Let me get rid of this timer. Let me, is that good volume for you guys? It should be good. Yeah. Let me put on some, like, we're gonna have a bit of a brainstorm here in a second.
Why can't you stay?
Not ads. I'm not here for the ads. Yes, Claire de Lune, absolute classic. Now we're talking. We got our brainstorm going on here. Okay, so we've done a number of antics so far, you know, word games, whatnot. How long have I been here? What year is it? Oh gosh. I have been streaming for about hour 40 at this point. We've been doing lots of antics, but I think we should get into the meat of what we're trying to do here. And that is write a screenplay, write kind of a 2089. Wow, that is that world record speedrun, everybody. Yes, we're trying to write some screenplays. We're trying to write here. And anyone who has tried to write before knows that it is not easy. And I think even people at the highest level of that would tell you that is not easy. And all I have really are the skills that I have learned so far at SCAD, and then the skills I'm going to learn. I don't have those yet. And then obviously what I know from things that I like writing. But one of the best ways for me in my creative process to write is to talk things out, is to kind of have an outlet to bounce ideas off of. And so that's a big part of what this sort of stream is that over the course of hopefully, you know, a long period of time, you know, we're going to start writing, and we're going to, you know, make things that are not good, and then we're going to revise them, and we're going to bring them back, and we're going to make them better. And we're just going to start feeling out what is, you know, I'm going to start feeling out what is my voice, and hopefully through like building somewhat of a community, we can start writing stories and like creating characters and stuff that like we're all passionate about, and that if someday we did actually get to see appear on the big screen, that like we know like I was part of the start of that, you know, like I know where that little brainchild came from. And so there's a lot of different ways to do this, right? There's not like an exact rule book and guidebook for how to be a successful writer, how to break into the film industry. We care so much about the film industry. Let's just, you know, we take a breather, we listen to Claire de Lune. And then we woo-sa, and we say our prayers. And then we just start writing what is put on our heart. And so, yeah, I think that's exactly what we should do. So how we're going to start with it is, our first goal is to write a television show. And by television show, I mean a TV pilot. Because if you don't know, how typically it works is that, you know, you come to an agent or something with, get out of here ads. You come to an agent or something with like a portfolio of work, as far as I understand, and they're looking for your writing skills. They're looking to see, can you write a TV show pilot and get someone hooked? Or if you come to them with like a feature film script that's like, hey, can you help me find someone to try to make this? And we're gonna start, you know, step by step. We're just gonna kind of feel this out, and if we're seeing like, you know, this is not working, we'll pivot. But what I want to do here, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up, is we're gonna have a little brainstorm, even though it's not actually raining. It's just YouTube, guys. We're gonna have a little brainstorm, and we are gonna start brainstorming ideas of like, what kind of TV show will we want to write? What kind of TV show do I want to write? You know, do we want to write a comedy? Do we want to write a drama? Do we want to do something that is fantastical? Do we want to do something really grounded? That's what we're going to figure out together. And that is what we are going to determine here. Let me move this over. Oh gosh. You need to not be that, and you need to be something else. Hello. And it's also just one of those things where it's like, you know, you can talk about what you want to do, you can talk about writing and stuff like that, and how you want to pursue that. And a lot of times it's like, you know, we get to talking about it so much that we forget to actually go out and do it. And sometimes the best way to learn is just to do it, to jump in and fail quickly. That's actually, like, I mentioned that you've seen a lot of Pixar films up there. That's one of like Pixar's biggest like pieces of advice or kind of things they follow as they're making stuff is like, fail quickly and fail loudly, because the sooner that you fail and the sooner that you see something's working or something's not working, the faster you learn. And so that's what we're gonna attempt to do here. Let me the quote that really puts it exactly as it is
we don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
I'm gonna say that one more time.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Exactly.
We don't
Okay, that's enough out of you. Exactly. Happy accidents. The Bob Ross sort of mentality. So if we transition over here, boom, we've got a blank page, one of the most daunting things. And we are just going to put right here, what sort of show do we want to make? What sort of show? And you know what? We're going to put it in Times New Roman because that looks prettier. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? What sort of show do we want to make? Show ideas. And what I'm going to do here is we're just going to let this be stream of thought. And I'm just going to kind of say what comes to mind, not, you know, weed out and filter like, oh, that's not going to be good. Like, now's the time to just like put stuff down and get it on a page. Based on the Letterboxd, if we're looking at like the stories I like and the stories that are appealing to me, I like stories that explore hope. I really like kind of fun, unique concepts, and you'll see that. I think eventually I have an idea to plan that like I watch and go through some of the short films I've made before, but you'll see in my old short films, or I guess not that old, but in short films I've done before, a common thread is that like we try to do something that is unique and is like, oh, that's a cool idea. Speedrun Letterboxd. No. We are going to write a show. And, you know, you want to put like things like this, like I'm writing a TV show today, where it's like, what do you mean you're just brainstorming? This is all part of the process, and this is part of writing. Musical style ones, cinematically challenging. Yes, I do love musicals. I got a sweet spot for musicals. I can't lie. I love musicals. Whoa. I'm sorry, the rain sounds just got crazy. Or at least they got crazy in my ears. I know it's probably not that loud for you. I love musicals. I like cool concepts. The cinematically, yes, but for me that always falls second to story. I mean, I do love animation, but like writing an animated show, that is such a weird, different pipeline where it's like they expect you to know how to draw and bring that to them, and I don't. Unfortunately, I love animated stuff, and I love writing for animated stuff, but I don't have like the visuals to bring with it, and so that would have to be a collab with like me and my sister or something. She's very artistically talented. So yes, these are sort of things that I enjoy. I do really like negative arcs in characters, which, if you don't know what that is, think of like Breaking Bad. Walter White, the arc starts like here, and it only goes downward. It's like we think we're rising up to a new point, and then we go down. Oh no, exactly. Yeah, we're literally just getting thoughts out. I do like negative arcs. I like when a character does the opposite of what you think and has sort of a downward spiral. I know that is like contradictory towards hope. But anything can happen. Anything's possible. Yes. So we like all these things. We like relatable characters. What else do we, being me, like? I like sad stories. I like stories that make you cry. Like my ideal story is like a story that makes you cry with a smile on your face, like at the end somehow, which, easier said than done. But those are the things that end up on my liked, is like, this made me cry and it made me leave being like, oh, I love movies. I love television. Yeah. I will say for some future ideas for the stream, I want to talk about other things that I like watching, listening to. Like, I've got some Severance content planned because I know that's blowing up, but I started watching that show before everyone else jumped on the bandwagon. Okay, I was here season 1, and so I feel like I have the right to say my piece on it. But I'd like to rank some Severance episodes. I'd like to rank TV pilots I've seen, because as we're trying to write a pilot and have an idea of an arc, we should rank what successful ones do well. That's always a great place to get started and find inspiration, is through things that you like and through things that you want to kind of replicate. Yeah, that's something I've learned a lot at SCAD, is that art is theft, and that you hear that and you go, whoa, what do you mean? We got to be original. But think about it, every single idea, every single story or whatever comes from something else, is inspired by something else. And you do have those moments where it's there's a tweak of oh, they did this completely differently, or I haven't seen this before, but the structure of it or something about it you've seen, because we've been telling stories for forever, for a long time. And so it can be really challenging, especially on yourself, when you go in thinking like, I need to make an idea that's never been done before, because you're just setting yourself up for like an impossible task to. So like, there's literally a book called this, but literally steal like an artist. I've also just realized that every time I hit the minus sign on here, I make this go away and appear. So, whoops, that's kind of fun. But like the other day, I had an idea because I'm on a track team, right? I run for the college, and I had an idea that was like Ted Lasso vibes, but on a track, and that was the extent of the idea, and like it's coming from, you know, I like Ted Lasso. The ones who get it done. Oh no, no, no. Hello. Even though it's starting from a place of like, you know, I want to make something like Ted Lasso, nobody's gonna tell that story the same way as you know. Like if you watch a horror film about being in a cabin and being, you know, an evil slasher killer is coming to your cabin, like you may think, well, that's been done 1,000 times, but like no one's gonna write it or direct it or whatever the same way as you. Yeah, it's a good book. Austin Kleon, I think, is the author. Yeah, it also takes off, again, that pressure of like, I need to create something 1000% original, because it's like, no, every artist, even artists like even artists 100 years ago, like, are already stealing stuff from other artists, and that's okay. Like, yeah, everything's a remix. I'm writing a short story, Super Game Texan. I'm writing a short story now that's based on multiple kids' books. Wasn't trying to be any of them, but because I read them, those stories are in me. Yeah, exactly. It's a great way to look at it. So yeah, I was thinking like, what if we have some sort of track thing? Show ideas. We need to spit fire. We've got musicals, so we could have like some sort of musical show that's like trapped in a musical would be fun. There's a show I've seen like that called Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist. They canceled it after 2 seasons, unfortunately, but I really love that show. The issue with writing a musical show is like the music is such a big part of it, so if you don't already know what that music is, you're kind of out of luck. But yeah, I mean, you could do something creepy like Severance wise. You really got to ask yourself, what is the engine, and what do I mean by an engine? It's basically saying, basically saying like, what's gonna generate episodes, because you know you have your characters, right? And you hopefully, like, in my mind, you know, you stay for the characters and you're like, you want to know what's happening, but getting someone into a show and continuing to write a story, the engine the engine of that show is like for Severance, right? The engine of the show is separating your mind into 2 personalities, and that like engine, or the concept I should say, creates a whole world of what ifs, you know, to do it. Or Ted Lasso, right? Ted Lasso is an American football coach begins coaching European football, right? Like that's the concept. And then you watch the show and you're like, well, you know, it's kind of about that, but it's also like way more about the characters. But that's the initial engine that's driving the show, and it's driving a lot of the jokes and the comedy of, like, you know, the cultural differences. Like for a show like Breaking Bad, right? Breaking Bad. the engine of that show is a chemistry teacher gets diagnosed with cancer and begins a meth empire. Great engine, great episode generator. And I think from what I've been told, that's what like a lot of, you know, people buying shows or making shows are looking for, is like, you know, we want our character driven drama, you know, obviously you can't have weak characters, but first and foremost, like what's your engine, what's your log line kind of the general concept. That way when you like go tell someone, recommend a show, it's like, okay, why should I watch Lost? And I'm like, well, Lost, it's like they crash land on a desert island and nobody can find them, and then on the island there's like shady stuff going on. I could probably say that a lot better, but that's what we're looking for here, is we're looking for an idea of the engine. So on that note, possible engines. Trapped in a musical, Ted Lasso vibes, but on track. I kind of like the Ted Lasso vibes, but also like, oh, please don't open that. No, stop. Okay. Whew. Like I like the Ted Lasso vibes idea, but I would want it to be more about like one person on the team. Like would be the main character, I should say, but about a runner and not the coach necessarily. Yeah, Trapped in a musical is fun. I also get a lot of like ideas from just like places, like what were to happen if we placed, you know, a comedy on a roller skating rink or something like that. Comedy on a roller skating rink. Again, this is the time to just throw out ideas. What else? Live action Undertale. Just kidding. I hope they don't do that. It's probably not popular enough for them to do that, thank goodness, but please don't do that. Toby Fox, don't sell out. What are some cool ideas? It's also about like, you know, write what you know. So you could put like, you know, comedy in a church setting, which has been done before. You would have to bring something new to it. I should tell you also, I like in prepping for this, I've been like, you know, should I write a show? Should I start trying to write a feature? And I have had some feature ideas too, but the thing is that those are based off books, and that is a whole nother animal to try to like acquire the rights to books. Not that it's impossible, but it's a good thing to keep in mind. You know, as much as we love like the art of it, and as much as I love the art of film and stuff, you know, when actually like working into it, there is this element of like the business and the legality that has to go around it. So, you know, you kind of gotta be shrewd in watching out for those things. Comedy in a church setting. What if? There's always a good what if, you know? And I'm not talking the Marvel show, because not my favorite Marvel project. Yeah, feel free to suggest ideas. This is the idea, is like, you know, I'm spitballing things to you, you guys can spitball things back. We like come together on something. So if you have ideas, feel free to blurt them out. What if you do a Truman Show type of thing where it's like an odd man out, like everyone knows something but you? Like what if you were, and I'm gonna say this. You are in a simulation. Well, this literally is just the Truman Show, isn't it? Well, how about, what if you're in a simulation, but only you knew about it, right? And you had to like convince other people. A heart that struggles to find its place in an unkind world. That's good. Would that be like an animated kind of idea or something like that? What if you were in a simulation, but only you knew about it? I'm probably gonna I'm gonna talk about Severance a lot because it is my favorite show right now, but I definitely, I'm not a big, in the things I create, I think darkness is necessary, absolutely, especially in, redemption and stuff, but it's not where my mind jumps to first, is, let's do the dark idea. We could do, we could do something that's, more kid-oriented, not necessarily, a Disney Channel thing, but I guess, a family type show. If Ted Lasso didn't have so much swearing and didn't have the mature themes of, I guess Ted Lasso is definitely an adult show, but for some reason in my head it has that wholesomeness that that I would equate with a kid's show, even though it's definitely not. It could be either. Heart is more a placeholder for a character or imagery. Yeah, so if you take your heart, you have some sort of character that finds its place in an unkind world. I mean, you could do something that's very poetic, and be an alien comes to Earth and finds our ways confusing and both hurtful and beautiful. I can imagine if somehow an alien came to Earth and disguised itself as a human, and it's trying to learn human ways, but in the positive ways it's whoa, humans are amazing, but then in the hurtful ways it's whoa, humans have this capacity for really big hurt. That could be something. That could be fun. The good part about writing this is something I also have had to learn in writing is, and especially screenwriting, is that there are certain barriers that you can't necessarily cross unless it is a perfect, amazing story. What I mean by that is if I wrote a script about a sci-fi kind of world, and it was gonna take a lot of visual effects, a lot of CGI, a bunch of different stuff, a ton of different locations and characters. Let's say I had an incredible script about that, but I gave that to a studio, or somehow it got there, and it gets rejected, and it's you're a great writer, but what you're writing is too big a budget. That's something to think about in getting your shows or your scripts made into something, is the cost. That's where the business side comes in, where it's if you can write something that's maybe in only a few locations, and maybe the ensemble of characters isn't massive, or it's not going to require a lot of visual effects, it's very character driven, that's much more likely to get a yes than something that is going to, the producers that are reading it, they're just seeing money flying out of the bank account, so that's something you got to think of. It's this weird balance for me of I want to write super deep, and or not deep, but I want to get super fantastical, and I want to do these really cool things where it's I don't know how you're gonna do that, but go ahead and do it. But I gotta rein it back in sometimes of also, is there a different way we could tell this story and have it be more manageable. Which is like, you know, in some ways you could be like, that's stifling my creativity. And for, you know, depending on what you like to write, that might be true. Like if you like to write only sci-fi, that might be an issue for you. But also for me, when I get limitations, when I get like a prompt, or I get like you have to write it in this much, or you can't do these things, it actually helps me be more creative, because I'm able to then have something to go off of and not just start from complete scratch, you know? Fall Guy is a good example of the stunts and business background behind movies and show creation. Yeah, which big news, the Oscars is adding a stunts category for the first time in 2027. They're going to start celebrating that, which is really cool. But yeah, Fall Guy's a cool representation of how, I mean, that's just how it works. It's all about money. There's a show that I watched the first 2 episodes of. It's on Apple TV Plus. It's called The Studio. It's got Seth Rogen in it and a ton of other like big name actors, movie people. If you want a like indication of how the industry works and like how a studio runs, that is a great like comedy, intense drama of like how a film studio is run and the decisions they make. I couldn't tell if I was only enjoying it because I am like a film major, dramatic writing major now, but still in the film world. I'm curious how you would watch that if you had no care or clue about the film world. But that's a good representation. Let's see. For a family show, a sister loses her love of guitar and the family recovers and helps her. Hold on. Let me think about it. Let me ruminate. For a family show, a sister loses her love of guitar and the family recovers and helps her. There's definitely something there. And I feel like we need to also like make it even more dramatic too, of like increasing the stakes. Like I would have to assume that like loses love of guitar. Like I wonder if maybe she like gets in an accident and now has partial hearing damage, and like her passion that was gonna lead her into the next stage of life, she can't get it anymore. Like this is hearing either fully or partially, and has to struggle with losing her love for music. I mean, that's really heart-wrenching. I also really love and how the family recovers. Yeah. How the family recovers. Yeah, I did have an idea of like, this could be just more a character idea, but I do love a good brother-sister dynamic, and maybe I'm partial because of my own dynamic with my sister, but get back up there. Give me my... No, don't remove it. Where's my webcam? Where am I? Hello. Sorry. Like I love a good brother-sister dynamic. And you could do something like what if the show's the foster home, right? And the engine of that is like a couple takes on being foster parents and is met with the most difficult kids in the universe. I mean, that could be a script that's like, one location. I mean, obviously you'd have child actors, but one location is a good starting spot. The foster home. That's why I like ideas that are inspiring, or just like, places, because it's like, oh, what if this kind of character or person was placed in this situation? What would they do? we would definitely have to do a bunch of research on this. And I could probably interview. I do know someone close to me has experience with being foster parents. I feel like that could be a really heartfelt, like, dramedy type of show. I don't know why I got to that, because with the sister brother thing, I was thinking like a brother that, like, a family adopts a girl and takes brother's place. It's also good to know, like, which of these is going to be better for, like, you know, a film idea, and which is better for a show. Because again, like, a film is a tight concept, like maybe this, and then a show is like, here's the engine, you know, like that's gonna keep driving the audience along. I mean, literally, like, you take any comedy show like The Office or Parks and Rec, and that shows that, like, you know, if you're a comedy writer, really, like, just pick a location and build the characters in that location, and then you can make your comedy off that. Like, you know, there's somewhat of a through thread of what's happening in The Office, but, like, most of the time we're not super invested in, like, how Dunder Mifflin is doing. We more care about how it affects our characters, right? Let's see. A small Super Gaming Texan, just first of all, thank you for all the ideas. I really appreciate it. And it's giving me a lot to spitball off of. It's good. A small town playground runs down and needs to be replaced, but big business tries to tear it down. Ooh, okay, so we're getting into, like, the Parks and Rec type stuff, and it's like we're fighting for the town playground. Fighting for the town playground. I like that. I like that whimsy, and that, you know, there's an innocence to it, but I feel like you could get some really deep moments there. But yeah, like I was saying, like, you could put a comedy, like, anywhere. Like, I just put, like, comedy on roller skating rink. For some reason I was just thinking comedy in an ice skating rink. It's so random. It's random where the brain takes you when you're just trying to think of stuff. Yeah. Fighting for the town playground. Fighting for the town playground. Trying to think of, like, inspiration I've gotten over the past few days. I should write more. Okay, wait. Let me stop trying to go from the ground up here. I do have, like in a notes app, like, ideas of stuff. I know most of them are probably film or documentary stuff, but let's take a look. You could do I mean, you could do a show based off Jesus Parables. Hey, Wildcat, for the Christians in Cinema podcast, the episode just dropped. Hold up, hold the phone. We need to take a look at this. I'm not gonna watch the whole thing. I'm just gonna take a peek. I'm just gonna take a little peek, and I just want to see. Okay, all right. I mean, it is an absolute plug. Oh my gosh, there it is. It is totally a plug. But you know, it's, dang it. Did you go away? There you are. It's holding the phone. Thank you. Keep holding your phone. Don't drop it. Or else. Is that right? Yes. Okay. Look, there it is. Wildcat option. I know that we have got some CIC fans in the chat, which I am thankful for. We're both thankful for. Wildcat, 32 minutes ago, I just got the notification. Yay! Boom. Oh, a clean hour too? Look at us go. Okay, I am going to be watching that, listening to that later on. But that is super cool. You should go check that out. As if you weren't already listening to me talk enough already. Have you ever wanted to hear me talk more? You can hear me talk more. That it is a good episode though. I'm very happy with how it with what we talked about from what I remember. I was gonna say how it turned out, but I haven't seen it yet. I'm sure I will enjoy it. A family trip, again, Super Gaming Tixon, a family trip across the US, but most scenes are in camp groups to keep costs down. I like the way you're thinking. Oh my gosh, we have a blank white screen. Word. There you are. All right, sorry, let me read that again. A family trip across the US. Okay, so like the engine is road trip, but maybe dad has an ultimatum. Like if you've ever seen the Goofy movie, like Max has to get to California in time. That would be a lot of fun. Goofy movie's great. That could be fun. Noah just had a thought with the classical music in the background playing, which is to show an idea of something to do with the rise in popularity in a certain genre of music while other genres are struggling. Ooh. Campgrounds, yeah. Or have you seen Road Trip movie with Robin Williams? I have not, but I do love Robin Williams. Sounds like something I would enjoy. Hold on, I'm trying to think. Okay, so music. This sounds like it would be like a very could be a historical kind of sense. Like you could we could do a show about the rise of how would you say it? I don't just want to say 70s music, but I guess disco music. And we could do like fun research on that, and then I can imagine the show is like full of like disco. I need to watch like Saturday Night Fever. That is okay. Biggest like little secret here. That is one of the coolest parts of like trying to work in film or writing or anything, is that a lot of times your homework is research. Your homework is research, but the research is literally just like pick films that are related to this and then go watch them or go watch this show. That is like the best kind of research you should do. And don't get me wrong, you need to watch it, and you need to. We're gonna crank this up for this. Don't get me wrong. Oh shoot, I just realized. Hold up, my music, my rain. Please, there you are. Okay. You can just watch it, and then you will get inspiration and learn more things about that thing that you are trying to learn about. Am I making myself clear? Okay. I know this is coming up very threatening. I didn't mean for it to, but it's happening. Anyways, I think what I was just trying to say is that it's fun to watch movies and TV as research. Anyways, that's all I'll say. Smiley face. Noah, I took a film cultures course and it was so much... Sorry, this is getting loud. Relax, Mozart. I took a film studies course and it was so much fun going through different movies, especially classics like Charlie Chaplin. And that does sound like a lot of fun. Yeah, I need to see more Charlie Chaplin. I want to watch a movie called... It's on my watch list. It's called The Artist, and it's about a silent film actor as films with sound are coming to the big screen. It's kind of like this concept, the rise of a genre music, and literally like it's about this silent film actor having to deal with, you know, his job, you know, being in jeopardy with sound being introduced to film. It's kind of like how we are like reacting to AI now, and that's like a whole different can of worms, but it's one of those things where it's like this new thing is coming and it has the potential to take jobs. Anyways, I want to watch that one. That one looks good. But yeah, I do like the idea of like we do a historical, you know, historical fiction, I should say, about the rise of disco music. That does sound like a lot of fun. Keep it in the musical world. I mean, okay, full disclosure, as a musical, like a guy who loves music, I have not watched Glee, but anytime I like say that to someone who has watched it, they're never like, oh, you should totally watch Glee. They just kind of are like, okay, no, like that's okay. Like, so rarely do you find someone who's watched something that like they don't want to recommend to you. It's always like, you haven't seen that. But like Glee is one of those things where it's like, you know what, you're not missing much. And they recommend some other musical show that I haven't seen, like Stomp or something. But anyways, what I was getting to at that is you could just follow it's kind of like High School Musical a bit, but you could follow, what if you follow a traveling theater troupe, right? And again, we're getting out of the locations thing, but let's just be creative for a second and not limit ourselves. Like, you follow a traveling theater troupe. That could be a fun concept. Let's see. The Great Dictator was the last one I watched, but the deeper meaning and speech Charlie gave was really good, especially given the era of film's release. I bet. I know that's one of the all-time classics. I gotta check that out. Just got an idea based on that skit. A radio host that shows up in town and the school starts to have weird trouble. The radio can also play with the speakers. Let's see. A horror radio show host. Okay, I'm tracking. And the school starts to have weird trouble. Okay, so it's kind of like in the sense of like, if it's a radio show host or like a podcast, like a true crime kind of thing, and then it's kind of like Only Murders in the High School. They're making a podcast, Only Murders in the High. Obviously, we couldn't call it that, but nobody asked your opinion, Gerald. That could be fun. That also made me think like, okay, this is not an idea. For some reason, Radio Rebel just shot into my brain, and that was like, oh, we should remake Radio Rebel, and I formally apologize for all that is there. That's a big no. Okay, getting a lot of ideas. We still need, like, I'm still looking for like that concept that's like, ooh, that sounds interesting. Like, you know, if it was like the track thing, like, you know, your main character joins the track team, but he has the magical power to see into the future, or, you know, he's seeing things into the future. Like, it doesn't have to be creepy like Severance, but any good story has some element of mystery in it, or like what's going on or what's gonna happen. And I feel like we could do something like that, like maybe something mystical is going on. See, that's the thing with a pilot, right? Is like, you want to grab someone, and really what you want to do as a writer, what I want to do as a writer, I keep saying you, but I'm speaking for myself. What I want to do as a writer is like leave a cliffhanger and leave a what happens next that is so strong that you can't help but have to know more and like want to read more, want to watch more. You know, it's like, wait, that can't be where it ends. And I know I'm saying that, and you know, I can't just like poop that out onto the table, but like, that's the kind of thing where once we get an idea and a direction of where we want to go, we will then say, okay, here's like the arc, the direction we want to take for the season, and then this is the arc we want to take for like the episode. Because even if we don't write the whole show, we want to know where we think it's going and where we want it to go. So I'm just trying to think, like, what are some more of those like kind of mystical concepts? Like, you know, you could have Spiffy. It's a terrible name. Jay joins. Jay is forced to join the track team, but starts seeing visions of the future. And why is he seeing visions of the future? Because his principal is an evil overlord, okay? I don't know. Don't ask me. I'm not... The principal is Lord Voldemort or something, okay? Like, why are you asking so many questions? Yes, Murder, She Wrote, but in high school. I haven't actually seen Murder, She Wrote. I'm so sorry. I'm so deeply sorry. What if the world was different? There's like 1,000 things on my watch list, like both for shows and movies, but it's one of those things that I then get to a place where it's like, do I actually want to like watch something tonight? But then when I'm not about to watch something, I'm like, why don't I watch things, you know? Yeah, let's see. Start seeing visions of the future. I mean, that's intriguing. I've seen maybe 2 episodes, and yeah, that's okay. You know, I'm never one, well, I was about to say I'm never one to complain when I was literally just complaining. I love getting like recommendations and adding things to the watch list, because it gives me hope that someday I will consume all the media, even though I know that is a statistical impossibility. But no, like, you know, if you like something, or, you know, recommend it, even if they don't listen to your recommendation. If it's something really good, like really good, like Severance, or like, I'm trying to get into Lost because I'm in the middle of season 2 and it's a big commitment, but like if it's actually good, then recommend that more than once. If it's something that's like you enjoyed it and you think they would enjoy it, you should recommend it. But if it's at the level of like, you know, you have to watch this, then, you know, just keep recommending it, and eventually you'll wear them down. Like if you really want someone to see the Minecraft movie, then, you know, oh wait, it's muted. I'm so sorry, guys. There you go. Now you get the full beauty. Anyways. What was I saying? Does anyone know? I really oh yeah. Just recommend stuff that you like. The movie critic. Dun dun dun. And it has to have the ... because that adds suspense. What if you had a murder mystery in space? No, don't do that. Don't do it like that, Isaac. What if you had a murder mystery in the future? No, forget that. Time travel show idea. Already love it. Similar to original Quantum Leap, but Christian based, where the main character has to try and help people rekindle the relationship with Jesus. Hold on. there's a spark of something here. Christian-based main character try to help people rekindle a relationship with Jesus. Oh, hello, story time. Nice to see you. Nice of you to join us. You've missed so many of my good, fabulous jokes. Like, I mean, you missed my whole Minecraft review and review of the movie. You'll just have to go back and watch that later and pretend that you were here, which you weren't. You just woke up. She missed it. Also, that was my AirPod telling me that it's gonna die, so I need to switch out. Maybe. Oh gosh, it's gone quiet. The world's gone quiet. Hello? Oh no. Please. Okay. You missed so many jokes, and I hate to tell you, I hate to tell you this, but I'm out of material. There's nothing left here for you. All right. So I hate to say it. I hate to be this guy. But I mean, the stream isn't over, but it's basically Jover. You know, you missed the world record speed run of Letterboxd. Like, world record. Do I still have my time? Nope, I deleted my time. You missed the world record. The comedic juices have been flowing. It's been comedy gold. Anyone here can tell you. Like, we've had success after success, and you've missed it. And there's only one thing I have to say to that. That's you right now. Wow. Just over 13. You say over 13 minutes like that's a bad thing, okay? Like, that's groundbreaking. All right. Anyways, just to kind of catch you up, we're currently brainstorming. We're doing a bit of a brainstorm. And we're brainstorming ideas for the show we want to do. So far we have like Ted Lasso, but on a track. It's about the runner, like, let's say Jay is forced to join the track team, but he starts seeing visions of the future. Trapped in a musical, comedy on a roller skating rink, comedy on an ice skating rink, a lot of like comedy on a rink, comedy in a church setting. Let's see, what if you were in a simulation but only you knew about it? I feel like there's something there. But the only thing is like, how would you, like, what's the other story going on, right? Because, like, sure, maybe one character knows about a simulation, or there's something like that. But, like, what's their day-to-day life? Or maybe it's like, they're the chosen one, and whatever agency is behind the Matrix, which I have never seen, but whatever agency is like behind the simulation, like, comes and talks to that one person and is like, only you can know this and nobody else, and no one's gonna believe you, and then they go away, and then they spend like the show trying to like make people believe. You also threw me way off my train of thought because we were talking about time travel. Hello. I'm sorry, I am taking this out on you, but it's not your fault, okay? Gosh, this is all your fault. Okay. We had comedies, like Sister Loses Hearing, An Alien Comes to Earth, The Foster Home, Family Adopts Girl, Takes Brother's Place, Fighting for the Town Playground, that's gonna get shut down, Jesus Parables, Road Trip. Anyways, no, don't zip your lips. Now that you're here, you gotta keep up the engagement, you know what I mean? Okay, I'm sorry. Noah, you had a beautiful idea about time travel before somebody interrupted us so rudely, you know what I mean? These guys, they never know. Time travel. Christian based. There's something here. Okay, hear me out. Not like that. Pause. Okay, I see you with the hearts. Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. Hear me out here. Time travel show. where a Christian or where either a Christian, wow, that's dramatic, or either a Christian or, yeah, let's say a Christian, let's say where a or maybe it doesn't matter, like, let's say, I mean, of course it matters, time travel show where a boy, no, a girl, almost too easy. This writing stuff is almost too easy. Time travel show where a girl in the world stumbles across a magical room in the church that takes her to different parts of the Bible, right? And she has to help them somehow, and in turn learns something, so learns some lesson through it. Because that would be a fun way. Oh, hold on, we gotta get our horror music up here. It's definitely a horrific idea. Time travel back to the place of the Bible or non-Christian. Listen, I'm getting there, okay? This is what we're doing. I had this whole talk about, look, we had this whole Bob Ross moment.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
I'm gonna say it one more time.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Yes. Yeah, no, that was the original idea. Yeah, I'm kind of like spitballing off of that, right? Anyways, no mistakes, happy accidents. Time travel show. Let's say a girl, like, or guy or whatever character comes to this room that takes her to, basically, we're going to different parts of the Bible and we're doing cool stuff. Yes, excuse you. That could be fun, and it's also like, it's putting it in that fantastical world where it's like we're showing like these biblical historical moments, but we're also like putting it in time travel, so we're like, it's like biblical fiction in a way. I had another time travel idea, like travel show, and it's just kind of this interesting concept where the device where you can only time travel to when the device is online. And what I mean by that is, like, you know, you have these time travel stories where, you know, you get in the DeLorean or you get in the machine and then you can go anywhere in time, right? You can, like, and they find some weird way to explain that. But what if, like, the science behind it was like that through the device you can only go to another time that device existed, and you can only go to where that device existed. So it's like, if in 2025 I invented like this time machine, the furthest someone can go back from is 2025, and the furthest I can go forward is however long this thing stays active. And that could be a cool thing where, like, I mean, it'd be high budget, definitely, but it could be a cool thing where, let's say I invent it in 2025 and I'm like, I'm this scientist, I've done it, I've invented it, and then as soon as it comes online, somewhat like people from the future are trying to come and they're trying to like take it, or they are trying to turn it off, like, because this is the starting point of when you can come to this machine, they are like coming right to when it started so that they can, as soon as possible, you know, do whatever they're trying to do with it, either turn it off. And then if I'm trying to travel forward in time, you know, if someone deactivates the machine, I can't travel to that time. I can only travel to when it is active. So it's almost like, you know, there's this set limit of when I can time travel to, because it's like, you know, somehow deleting my molecules and replacing them back in a different timeline. Does that make any sense? It sounds like it could be like interesting, but it's also, it's, you know, that's the kind of like cool concept sort of show. Let's see. An idea for knowing about living in a simulation. Yes, maybe the second story is best friend's getting married soon, but knows that once it's happened, something bad will happen. Maybe the world ends or a big disaster. I'm glad that you feel me. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting thing because, like, here, let me finish my thought on the simulation. Simulation, where was that? But all you knew about it, B story, world ending, marriage. That's kind of cool. Yeah, the time travel idea could be cool because I think it's unique to time travel. I think it was inspired. I watched the animated Scott Pilgrim versus the World show. I think it's called something else. But in the animated Scott Pilgrim vs. the World show, they do that with time travel, and they do like. Shut up! Sorry, got a little aggressive there. No mistakes.
We don't
make
mistakes.
No mistakes.
We have happy accidents.
Anyways, real quick, let me respond to someone. It was inspired by Scott Pilgrim, and they do a similar thing where, oh, you just watched the live one. That's really funny. They have like a time travel robot, and you can only go to where that robot is. So it's kind of like that, but we could do something like this bigger drama through it. I'm liking that idea, or the simulation idea. Hold on. Let me respond to my friend here. You guys go ahead. I'll catch y'all later. Can't you see I'm doing important things right now? Lose this number. Never call me again. Okay, bye. Love you. Anyways, I just lost my soundboard privileges. Oh, I don't think so. I've got the power. We can do only Chicken Jockey from now on. We can do just Chicken Jockey. You know, I've got some good stuff on here, but like, you say one more wrong word and it's just gonna be Chicken Jockey. Anyways, I think the time travel thing could be cool. I'm liking that idea right now. From new chatter, Christopher Cinnamon, hello there. Nice name. How about a show about a guy trying to get a movie or TV show made, all the ups and downs and twists and turns? Now that is a very meta approach for sure. It's kind of like the studio, like the indie, like it would be the industry, the industry or something like that. But yeah, you could follow like that would also play well into like write what you know, right? And you could have this like ultimatum, or this you're jumping in the middle where it's maybe this guy's tried to make a few things for a couple years, and then finally he has a chance at his big break, but you know he has to work with like the studio, and he's having to make these sacrifices, or yeah, that could be really fun. I can definitely see a world in which we do that. Maybe we combine the ideas and we do a time travel show where an indie filmmaker stumbles across a magical room that has a device in it that you can only go to other devices in. Or maybe we just combine every idea and we do a Ted Lasso vibes that's on a track that is a musical, and they also do comedy on roller skating, ice and skating, and church rinks. It is also in a simulation, and the main character, it does happen to be an alien that has lost her hearing and is a foster kid in the home, but thankfully the family adopts another girl that takes, is starting to take the brother's place, and while they're time traveling, there's the B story of fighting for the town playground that is, they're trying to come to the school board with Jesus parables, and then they go on a road trip, listen to disco music, and start doing theater, and then kill everyone in a high school. I think absolute cinema. I think we've done it. I think That's a job well done. Good job, everybody. Anyways, back to the list. Checking it more than twice. So far, this feels like a good engine. This could also be a really cool, like, vignette, like, cool idea of these little, like, moments in Bible history. This would be cool. I'd have to do more research on this kind of thing. I do like this a lot. Fighting for the town playground. The foster home would be good. That would be challenging. I think we'd have to be delicate with it, but again, you know, don't judge it until it's, don't judge yourself too hard until you're saying like, this is my final product, you know? Yeah, the best idea you've ever heard, me too. And I'm the one who made up with it. So, you know, crazy how that works. This is good. I feel like this is more a feature though. Like it reminds me of Coda. Alien comes to Earth. Could be something there. I do, you know, the simulation idea could be something. And then this could be something. So far, I'm just highlighting the ones that stick out to me most as like maybe having legs. What the? Sorry, I just got a notification. I need to check it if it's okay. Don't give me an ad. I refuse to buy YouTube Premium. You are not gonna do it to me. Absolute Cinema. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Gosh, you guys. Oh, babe. We're making progress here. There was a slight moment there, like unironically, as I was going through and doing that, where I was like, wait a minute, this could work. It's genius. And then it quickly went away when we got to, I think, all the roller skating rinks. My mind's in a roller skating rink today. Yes, we see it all now. Yeah, let's lock in. Let's lock in for another like half hour or something. Just get like a great list of ideas here, and then we'll probably next stream hone in on what we're actually gonna choose. That way we can like sit with the ideas, and then sometimes you like come up with all these ideas on the page, and then like the next day you're like, oh wait, that's like way better than anything I came up with before. What's something that I find interesting or funny? I mean, in the cultural zeitgeist right now, you have AI, and you could do some like artists versus AI. Dun dun dun. I think AI is a very interesting topic. I don't have like a story idea for it that would be interesting, but I do like talking about it and like discussing what could be, and oh gosh, what could be, you know. But the industry. Let's see here. Ow. That was the sound of my back. If you could hear that. I hope you couldn't, but no promises. Low-key against it when it comes to art. I think it's helpful in other ways though. Yeah, no, I get that, and trust me, I'm at the Savannah College of Art and Design. Like, that is a hot button conversation. And I, you know, if you had been here earlier in the stream, I talked about the Studio Ghibli film I watched last night, Princess Mononoke. And the creator of that and Studio Ghibli, Miyazaki, a clip of him has gone viral recently where he's talking about AI and how, yeah, like art is in trouble, and art is like, he talks about it in like despair of like, this is this is how it is, and it's kind of coming to an end. Yeah, I mean, but also it's also a piece of technology, like anything, like your phone, you know, like you can use it for good, you can use it for bad, and it's still so young right now, and like such a wild west that like there's like infinite potential for good and for bad, and so it's really hard to like come to a conclusion on it. But I definitely understand how, like, especially if you want to be something like a concept artist, like one of the biggest things it advertises is, hey, we can help you brainstorm and conceptualize ideas. And it's, if that is your whole goal of like your job, then that's definitely scary. But it's also just like the fear of the unknown type thing. Also, I love that we're talking about this while listening to this music. But yeah, I mean, it's about who's using it, and it's a lot of stuff, but it's like it's impossible to control that right now. And yeah, there's a lot of different opinions on it. Definitely very opinionated, but try to find the silver lining in it all. You know, life goes on, and you know, you see that more and more people are caring about physical media more than anything. Or, you know, not all people, but some people are going back to physical media because, like, we just like something tangible. Do you want to hear something that's super insane? You've probably heard about this. But the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct was the other day, and they announced a whole bunch of stuff. You know, a lot of fun games, a lot of cool stuff. People are going crazy over the pricing, that like digital is $80, physical is $90. That's not the worst part of it, okay? The worst part is that the physical copy, the physical edition of the Switch game, it's not the game, it is, you put it in and it gives you a code that you can download the game with. So you're paying $10 extra on top of $80 for a physical card that gives you a download link. Like, you don't, that would be like if you got a Blu-ray disc and you put it in and it took you a link to Disney Plus to watch your movie. Like, that is insane that they are, but that's just like where we are right now, that like you don't own anything, you own a subscription to stuff. Yeah, you haven't heard about this? This is the case, is that you're paying $10 for the case and the little chip, but the game is not on the chip. It's just access to the game. And I don't know if they're doing this with every game, but I just know that this is like the trend of what they're doing now. Oh, I'm sorry for punching you. But you know, and you know what I have to say to that? I just, you know, it's like that's me right now. Nintendo, what happened to you? What? And the issue is people are gonna buy it, you know? People are gonna buy it. Yeah, get your old stuff. We're going retro, you know? We're going retro. But anyways, that's my rant for now. Like, that's a crying shame, you know? Forget about AI. You're paying me $90 for a download? Bro. Bring back the Wii. Yeah. But anyways, what were we doing? Oh yeah, we were writing a television show. The Goldbergs. Sorry, just a fun 80s comedy show I like. I mean, you could do something like that about like this new tech gadget that's gonna change the world, and there's like putting a chip in people's brains. I mean, it's very Severance, but I will say, but that could be something where it's like, oh, we're offering this new thing and it's gonna have a lot of benefits and it's gonna have a lot of downsides. It's kind of like that argument that they made in Avengers or in Marvel, where it's like, okay, you know, we only started getting more and more supervillains the more and more superheroes we had. Like, the greater the good thing that comes, the greater the evil thing that comes, and they just like, they both scale up together. And so yeah, there could be something like that. Friends TV show inspiration. do like a multicam stuff. Yeah, I mean, one of my favorite comedies is Arrested Development. That's a very smart TV show. I like smart comedy. It's not as much a comedy, but it's very comedic, is Lemony Snicket's A Series of Unfortunate Events. Dude, that show is so funny and so just hilarious. I love that show, and the sense of humor of that author, which, if you didn't know, Lemony Snicket is not actually the author's name. That is a false name because they implement themselves as a character into the story. Really cool. Yeah, putting a chip in people's brains. I need to watch The Bear. Like, a lot of times I have an idea that's like, what if we were in a really stressful environment and we had to get all this, and then I'm like, this is the concept of The Bear. I need to watch The Bear. Apparently it's good. Apparently people want me to watch good things, but I spend my time doing silly stuff like streaming or, you know, podcasting or something. Bada-bada-boom. Let's see. What if Pokemon were real? It's not a film idea, it's just a question. I said film idea. We're writing a show here. Yeah. I think we're seeing a lot more ideas like Severance, and like Apple TV has a show called Silo, which is like very post-apocalyptic. I think we're seeing a lot of ideas like that because like people don't have time to be wasted, you know. Like they want to be captivated, and it's a balance of like, do you want a show that's really captivating and makes you think a lot, or do you want the show that is like, you know, it's formulaic but it's comfortable, you know, it's comfy. Like when I turn on The Office, when I turn on Psych, like I know what's gonna happen every episode and I know the beats it's gonna take, but like sometimes shut up, sometimes I need that in my life, and I like that a lot. And honestly, that's one of those things that I'm not sure you can necessarily like decide. Like you can aim for a tone for sure, but sometimes people just latch onto things that you're not expecting, or characters, and it's like, oh, I should do more of that. Putting a chip in people's brains. I like the playground idea because it's wholesome. We need some more wholesome content. Like Abbott Elementary is also a show that I haven't watched, but I feel like could be sweet like that. I mean, this concept has been done before, but like country family moves to the big city, you know, fish out of water story, classic. Could be fun. What I have found for some reason, and maybe this is just my funny bone, but putting things in a country accent and saying them a certain way just makes things funnier, you know. It just makes the world a little bit funnier when you sound a little bit like you got hill in your billy, you know what I'm saying? Like it just sounds, I'll stop, but you get what I'm saying. That, and probably British accents, or maybe that's just like, maybe that's a human thing, is that when we hear an accent that's not ours, it's like different, and so we immediately like go like funny, or like funny bone, like haha, you talk like that, haha. But anyways, a TV show about a director trying to make the perfect movie, a perfectionist, but for movies. Let's see, director with major OCD. What do we think? Bing! Something like that. Let me pull back up my notes. I never actually got all the way through the notes of things I wanted to, possible things. I just wrote like mother-son movie. Like I love a good mother-son relationship movie. Like, I don't know what the conflict would be. Not movie, show, but like something that circles around their relationship. But you want to do something that's like, you know, you steal like an artist, but you also don't want to be repetitive. So like, you know, we've seen 1,000 times the like rebellious teenage son against the mother. And then I always find, I mean, I think they're important to tell, but it hurts to tell and watch stories where it's like the parent is, you know, a terrible person, and I mean, we're all terrible people, but the parent is clearly neglecting their responsibilities and the kid suffers for it. Like, that just sounds like a sad time. Okay, let's do something where it's like death in the family. I know, not a strong start for happy, but just stay with me. Death in the family. Older son has to move back home, has to move back in with his mom. And he's an adult now. And that is just a different dynamic. You know what I mean? That could be something. I also say son, and I think it's just because that's what I know and resonate with, because I'm a guy. But, you know, and here's what I will say too, is sometimes, like, when you're writing in a process and it comes to like, should it be a guy, should it be a girl, sometimes that's an easy switch where it's like, it doesn't really matter the gender of this character. But sometimes it's like, okay, like, I get it, like, you know, but a part of like his character is that he's a guy, and so it's going to change the tone of the story if he's a girl. Obviously in brainstorming it could be either, but at a certain point it's not as simple a switch of like, you know, let's make Riley the guy, Riley the girl, or I guess it might be the other way around, I don't know. But that it's going to change some things, especially like depending on who their friends are, how they talk. Like, it's definitely an important character trait in defining them. Something with ADHD, it's so common but not talked about, it's passed on as crazy. That would actually be very interesting, because you're totally right in that I hear a lot of people and know people close to me who have ADHD, and it's not a common talked about thing. And I wouldn't want to paint it in a light that's like, you know, I'm the victim, but it would be a cool way to like, if you could like visually represent that, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Don't give me an ad, please. Spare me. Okay. Other idea, conflict of it could be mother is the one that the child has to help take care of due to illness or tragic accident where help is needed. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, is like, it would either be like the dad died and he has to come take care of her, or like whoever was taking care of her, she has some condition, and so now it's like, yeah, it is I mean, it's also been done before, but who cares? Like, son taking care of mother, like, dynamic, which is a really interesting character dynamic. And VPN, ooh, I like the way you think. I'll have to look into that next time. Yeah, that's definitely, I like that as a character dynamic with the mother and son thing, because I can already kind of see their arcs, which like may be a sign that it's too simple or easy. Sometimes the simple and easy thing is the good thing, but I can already see their arcs where it's like the son, he's not taking responsibility for his life, and then all of a sudden he is forced a great amount of responsibility. And then the mother, who, you know, is the shepherding, you know, mother, is resistant because, you know, she's supposed to take care of her son, not the other way around, but they have to like meet in the middle somewhere. Yeah, kid having to be the parent, definitely. I do like that as like as a character, and that could be like a dramedy kind of thing where it's like, obviously there's serious subject matter, but you could also have the levity, the comedy in that. my question for that would be like, what's the engine for that? Because I think that's a great like character dynamic, and it would be cool even to, wow, you are annoying. That would be cool to explore and just, you know, tug at the heartstrings. But like, what's the thing that's going through that's like, I have to watch the next episode, like, oh my gosh, what's gonna happen here? What's he trying to do? Minecraft movie did it, and it made millions. Okay, you are really too late for this conversation, because we talked about the Minecraft movie for a solid chunk of time earlier. But you're right. I mean, that's kind of what they did, except in the sense that like she had to take care of the sibling. That was more of like a Lilo and Stitch sort of situation. I'm sorry, I don't know what came over me. That was more of a Lilo and Stitch situation, but I see what you're saying. Gosh, let's not look at the Minecraft movie as a point of reference for our writing, please. Por favor, thank you. Anyways, yeah, what would the engine be? What's gonna, like, what's the son trying to accomplish? What's the mom trying to accomplish? I mean, survive. I don't know. Something there. I like it. I like it a lot. More water, please. Okay. What are we discussing? We're just still discussing film idea or show ideas. We're only gonna do it for another like 15 minutes, and then I've got a few last things for us to talk about. But we were talking about this idea of like this relationship dynamic between mother and son, how there's a death in the family, and like the older son has to move back in with his mom. He's an adult now, and it's like the son has to take care of the mother, and they like, the arcs are clearly there, that like you can totally see. But like, what would the engine be for that, you know? Like what's gonna keep you going to the next episode more than just like their relationship sort of thing? Stay hydrated, absolutely. In this economy, I drink water. Yeah. Anyways, hear me out. You do something with a goose that has to save his fiance. That sounds like a great idea. I like the way you think. Not too shabby. Yeah, you know, maybe it's been done before. Oh well. I couldn't tell you. I haven't seen all the things. I'm telling you, my watch list goes like it could be out there, but we'll never know until we find out. Steal like an artist. Amen, brother. You know, I'm still not completely abandoning doing a musical type of idea. But again, it's like you kind of got to bring the music in with that, if you want to feel that out. You know what I'm saying? It's also just like, I think there should be a motivation for something to be a musical. I think like just saying I want to write a musical, it's like that's great, but you know, like, why are they singing and dancing? And sometimes there isn't a why, and it, you know, you get cheesy stuff that's fun to watch, like High School Musical and Grease. Yes, we talked about Zoe's Extraordinary. I'm not gonna tell you all the things we talked about. Anyways, yeah, there's something like that there. But I think Zoe went bankrupt or got canceled because every episode they were doing, because every episode they were doing music that they had to buy, like it was already existing. And that's expensive. That is expensive to maintain and keep doing. So yeah, engine idea. Here we go. Him trying to grow in his work career, something that is losing the count of spending. Yes, Yeah, you know what? And you wrote career, which made me think of like he works for like a news outlet or something. So like the engine would be son is an investigative reporter. Force and then you have the mom stuff going in, forced to go to like dangerous territory, which worries the mom, obviously. And so he's on the cusp of like, he's trying to break something big, and we get like a mystery element in there, right? Like, so we're trying to follow along, like, ooh, what's the mystery? What's going on here? He's kind of discovering this stuff, and then meanwhile, he's like being held back. Yeah, like some sort of detective thing. Murder connects to the mom. Yeah, I like that a lot. I would probably still like keep it like a reporter or something, just because like we still want him to be like a young adult, and the detective might be like, he would have to be like a junior detective or something. But it would be like he could still act as the detective kind of character, you know? Like yeah, that's kind of cool. I like that. Yeah, I do like that. I like that we have like kind of an engine with it, where it's like we can have this mystery sort of big stress job that he's dealing with, while having the heart of like, gosh, he is just dealing with the hardest stuff right now. Like he's having to deal with like suffering out there, and a lot of reporters and stuff get to go home and like detach from that. He doesn't get to do that. He has to go home and take care of his mom, and like, so he's dealing with the horrors of the world, like at home and out in the world. What do we think? What do we think? Does that spark excitement in you? Is it like, yeah, seen that before? Because I think it's a pretty good idea, if you ask me. Yeah, I do like that. That could be cool. That could be cool. I'm getting giddy just thinking about the possibilities. Isn't that the curse though? Is that when you're like, right, like the engine is totally there, especially for like a season engine. We haven't even talked about, but like keeping a show going throughout a ton of seasons is like, you know, if he solves one whatever the first season, you know, you just bring something new into his life the second. Obviously, you know, we're getting ahead of ourselves, but that there is definitely a lot there. But anyway, what I was gonna say is like, isn't that the trick, is that when you have just like a barely a concept of an idea, it's like perfect and awesome, and like your head of like the possibilities are endless, and then when you go to down to start writing it and you start setting like constraints, it's like, this is a lot less fantastic than I thought it was gonna be. But that's just because it's not there yet. That doesn't mean it'll never be there. I do like this. I like this idea. I think we can have a lot of heart with it. I think we can really weave like his work life and his home life, and bring them together, and then have some kind of implication where somehow the mom is involved, or the mom knows something that nobody else could know, but gives his son something that he could only get if he got close enough to her. Like she could know something about whoever is the murderer or whatever they're trying to solve. Let's see, for me, when it comes to writing, if there's a need for season 2, hone in on the world building to have something build off of for the second season. Yes, world building's important. Absolutely. And I love, please share your process. Anyone who writes stuff or is creative, like, yeah, definitely building that world gives you a good canvas. But also a lot of times, like, you know, the world can be really cool and expansive, but you still need that, like, that driving force of, like, you know, like your world is cool, but why do I care about it? But world building is definitely important. I had an idea in my notes where we would do like world world building Wednesdays, which, you know, I'm not streaming on Wednesday yet, but that could be fun. Yes, this is an interesting idea. We could spitball off this. I'm gonna give us 5 more minutes, like until 8. I'm gonna give us 5 more minutes to brainstorm and just get whatever's left in our brain out on the page, and then we'll shift gears to something else. No, I'm just thinking about this idea, which is a good sign. But I do want to try to pull something else together. I'm in the beginning of my writing journey. I have a long way to go. I haven't even written a single story set, hence the short story. Hey, same here, brother. All right. I have written a short story, but like, you know, we're in the beginning of this, and that's what we're trying to do together. Is we're trying to like make a cool community of like people who are learning and bouncing ideas off each other. Like this list here, you know, I'm writing the ideas down, but if there's something that, you know, we don't choose, like, you know, following a traveling theater troupe or only murders in the high school, like if there's something that we don't end up choosing that's like a good idea, feel free to run with that, you know. Like I'm not offended if you take inspiration or take ideas and we like make that happen together. What's the streaming schedule going to look like? This is going to be something you continue for a little while. That is a great question. Let me finish brainstorming for 4 more minutes, and then I will let you guys know an idea of where we're going ahead. So if he's a journalist, he could also have a conflict of you're too young, like Nancy from Stranger Things. Yes, true. Sub-conflicts. I love it. Just ridiculous thoughts. Hot dog vendors go to space. 2 dogs find a cat and fight over her. Let's see. Everything a writer writes comes to life. That's a classic story. I've even done that before, with a short film called Jane. Bucky's takes over the multiverse. Pretty good engine. A murder podcaster has to kill people to make content. Kind of what they did in Only Murders in the Building season 2? Yeah, season 2. No more multiverse, but it's Bucky's. It's Bucky's, I tell you. A boatman trying to get sea legs after an accident. Engine idea, he knows buried treasure. Woo, I like buried treasure. Show inspiration from Mr. Megorium Wonder Emporium. I've never seen it. You'll have to tell me more. Boatman getting sea legs. Boatman post-accident looking for treasure. I like that. It's got that whimsical, fantastical vibe to it. I love that. The Queen's Gambit. Sorry, that's already a show. Severance. Sorry, that's... You need more fantasy. I know, but we are, like... It's hard with... I am not an artist or animator, and if you're doing stuff that lends itself more to animation, then they're expecting you to come in with, like, you have the story and you have the art. And also fantasy a lot of times brings more visual effects and brings more, genuinely, like, more cost up, which when people are looking at scripts is like, you know, unless it's like an absolute banger, you know, you're probably not going to get your script made if it's going to cost like $2 million to make an episode. But I do love fantasy, and I do think we could always use more fantasy in our life. You should go back and listen to my review of The Legend of Ochi. Good one. Magic flows freely through the walls and toys within the Wander Emporium, but when Mr. Magnorium, Dustin Hoffman, I love Dustin Hoffman. Wait, tell me more. Magic. I've got the magic in me. Close up magician gets real powers, but nobody believes him. Kind of fun. Could be something there. Middle school teacher is afraid of whiteboards. Now we're just getting into short films. Jason Bateman is in that one. What? I love Jason and Dustin. You guys. Trying to give review. Oh, I didn't realize there was a word count. Whoopsie. Yes, I should. How old was... When did it come out? Hold on. Let me... Doing a little research. Mr. Megorium's Wonder Emporium. 2007. Okay, so Jason wasn't too young. I only asked that because Jason Bateman has been acting since he was, gosh, 12? Younger? So he could have been anytime. Yerp. Wizard finds love in a continent over during war. He joins the fight to see her more. Okay, there's a lot. Okay. How the war can end before it reaches the main character's hometown. That is definitely fantasy, but we're writing it down because it sounds awesome. Also, if any of you are D&D people, I'm not, but I feel like I would be if I was in the right crowd. Feel free to use these ideas in your D&D kind of setup if that's your thing. Finds love across the sea. Wizard finds love across the sea during a war. Engine need to end the war. Cool. Having a time limit with whatever the final goal is makes it stressful and more countdown. He was in Little House on the Prairie. Yes, he was. He has been acting forever, and he is one of my favorite comedic actors. He's so dry. He is so dry. And I am so wet. Pause.
We don't make mistakes.
No mistakes
We
here.
have happy accidents.
Whoopsie. Yeah, having a time limit on anything. There's a show recently that came out. Haven't seen it, but okay, don't be weird. It's called The Pit, and apparently it's about the Pit, P-I-T-T, and it's about like a hospital setting, and basically the show takes place over 8 hours. It's 8 episodes, and it's like real time each episode, and there's a counting clock, so there's definitely like something there. Okay, it is 8:03, and what we have before us is a list of wonderful ideas. I'm gonna read through them one more time, see if any more jump out at me as highlightable, and then we're not gonna decide tonight. We're just gonna let it sit, and then we'll come back and see how they look in a couple days. But let me read them real quick. Ted Lasso vibes, but on track, but about a runner. Jay is forced to join the track team, but he starts seeing visions of the future. Trapped in a musical, comedy on a roller skating rink, comedy in an ice skating rink, comedy in a church setting. What if you were in a simulation, but only you knew about it? And the B story would be there's a marriage that is gonna blow up the world. An alien comes to Earth and finds our ways confusing and both hurtful and beautiful. Pretty poetic, but I like it. Sister loses hearing either all the way or partially and has to struggle with losing her love for music. Tragic, but again, feels more like maybe a feature film. The foster home, a couple takes on being foster parents and is met with the most difficult kids in the universe. Could be sweet, could be sad. Family adopts a girl and takes the brother's place, fight for power. Fighting for the town playground. It's gonna get shut down. No. Show based off Jesus parables. Road trip. Maybe the dad has an ultimatum that he has to get to. A show about the rise of disco music. I'm gonna do some more research into that because I feel like that could be a fun thing. Following a traveling theater troupe. Only Murders in the High School. The movie critic. Don't know what that thought process was. A time travel show where a girl stumbles across a room in the church that takes her to different parts of the Bible. She has to help them somehow and in turn learn some lessons through it. A time travel show where you can time travel to when the device is online. Could be cool. We definitely need more of the character and the relationships there, but that's a cool engine. The industry, putting a chip in people's brains. Country family moves to the big city. Director with major ADHD. The mother-son relationship show. The son is an investigative reporter forced to go on dangerous territory, which worries the mom. He's trying to break something big. There's a mystery element. But then, of course, there's a death in the family, so he has to move back in with his mom, and he's an adult now, so he has to take care of her. A lot there. Hot dog vendors go to space. 2 dogs find a cat and fight over her. Everything a writer writes comes to life. Bucky's takes over the multiverse. Perhaps. Murder podcaster has to kill people to make content. Boatman post-accident looking for treasure. I do like that. But I don't know if I can write it or if it works as well as a show. I would have to explore that more. Close-up magician gets real powers, but nobody believes him. Middle school teacher is afraid of whiteboards. Wizard finds love across the sea. Need to end war. Counting clock. That is a number of stuff. Boo. Don't boo my Buckies. Okay? Don't boo. Don't boo this guy. All right? He is not to be booed. He will come find you, and you will suffer. Okay, I do have a question, and I'm gonna use my YouTube Q&A to do it. Other than the mother-son investigator, which of these sounds most interesting to you? All right, Q&A. I don't know how this works, but this is fun. Top chat, live chat. Yeah. Let me know what you think. That's the question. I guess I could have just said it out loud, but if there's any that stuck out to you, let me know. But we have a really good start here. I know that someone had asked earlier about the stream schedule, and that I do want to get to that. I don't know how this question thing works. I will be honest. I'm learning, okay? But that is a lot of stuff going on there. Let me put these away. Whoop. And let me go back here. Okay. So, we did a lot today. Actually, I know I literally just put it away, but can we just take a second and look at... Oh, that's the wrong thing. Can we just look a second at how many ideas we came up with today? Now, look, they're not all winners. In fact, there's some stinkers in there, but we did a lot today, you know, in our brainstorm. We have like the start of a lot of really cool things, and that is something to be happy about and to feel accomplished about, that we have this much of like ideas and we can choose what to do with them from there. I'm gonna end the Q&A because it feels weird. Anyways. Yes, so we should feel very happy about ourselves. We should feel very chicken jockey about ourselves. And I do want to talk about what we want to do moving forward on the stream. Hooray, you helped. Yes, you made it just in time to help. Okay. I am still in school right now, obviously. And so, you know, scheduling things are up in the air. I'm planning on doing this again this Tuesday and Thursday. That's the goal. Next Sunday is Easter, so that's not going to be a day I stream, but I'm thinking that if I can stream like Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday for a while, that's probably going to be my schedule, and I'm gonna probably come on around like 3:30 in the future. Do like 3:30 to 7:30, just like 4 hours. We will see how that goes, but definitely tune in next Tuesday for the next stream. Don't go yet because the stream is not over, but I just did want to answer that question. And kind of talk about. Hold on, we need our music here. We need our music. Oh, that's the wrong music. Wrong music. That's like danger music. Bomb. There we go. Some soft music. Betsy, you'll be in school. I know you will. I know you'll be in school, and I know you probably have practice after, but what do you want me to do? Okay? I can't do this into the late hours of the night. You're just gonna have to figure it out. Okay? Have it on in the background. Oh, wait, you don't have a phone. That's true. You can join once a week. Yay! Come home. Yeah. Easy. Look, I will look forward to whenever you can pop in, whether it's the end of the stream, the beginning, just any sort of moment. I really appreciate that. It's fun. But as for the future of what we're trying to do here, is we're gonna keep having these like brainstorming sessions where it's gonna kind of evolve into that dual screen. It's gonna evolve into more like getting into the writing. I actually have an assignment due for my writing class on Wednesday that we are gonna work on Tuesday. It's about writing a joke short. And so we have to write a short film, and it's like there's a specific way we're gonna do it. But we're gonna try to do that on stream. That's gonna be fun. And yeah, we are gonna feel this out and be supportive, and it's fun. I've had fun so far. So yeah, that's kind of what we're doing. I'm also planning on doing some more like fun stuff, like, you know, the Letterboxd speed run, everyone's favorite part of the stream that some people had to miss. But I want to rank Severance episodes. I want to rank TV pilots so that we have a better sense of that. So there's like a lot of like ranking and like rating stuff that I want to do. I'm gonna keep talking about movies and stuff. I've been getting really into Epic the Musical, and so if like, you know, if there's enough fan base for that, I want to like react to that again on stream and like rank my favorite Epic song. Like there's a bunch of ideas in the tank. Or I could watch other indie shows that I haven't seen yet. Please give suggestions. Yeah, no, I appreciate anytime you can come on or just have it in the background. Like, again, this is really honestly like an excuse for me to bounce ideas off of a screen instead of just sitting alone in my room trying to like come up with magic. And already like through this, you know, even though sometimes I wrote down your ideas, sometimes your idea like sparks something new. Like that's cool that already that we have a large list that we're gonna pull from. But yeah, a lot of the story ideas, a lot of content ideas. So I'm really excited about that. I am gonna give us something though for this week, for the few of you that are here, who have stuck with me, a special little treat. Hold on. What am I gonna do with you? I say that like that's an evil thing. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. You ready? Oh wait, don't do that yet. I would like that because I keep hearing about Epic. No one will show it to me. Yes. Even if I have you, Super Gaming Texan, my one Epic wanter, that it will all go according to plan. Okay. I am gonna give you guys something, and this is something that I think is really gonna bring us closer together. Are you ready? Get ready for it, because what I have for you for this week, until next week's stream, homework, guys. I've got homework for us. Yay! And what do I mean by homework? Oh, that's loud. And what do I mean by homework? Well, quite simply, I have a writing prompt for us that is going to be a good exercise because... No, listen. Hey, shh. Don't. I see you all freaking out in the chat, okay? This is not the reaction you should be having. You should be like, yay, like stream homework kind of thing. Okay, look, I won't. Hey, here. Happy now? Oh my gosh. Listen. This is just. Shh. This is optional, okay? And you should be inspired. Basically, something I wanted to try to do is each week I'm gonna give us like a writing prompt, so like a start to a sentence or like the first sentence, and then I'll write something. Chicken jockey your own homework. Hey, shh. I'm gonna give us like a starter sentence, and then we're gonna come back in a week. And see what we have, if you want, but I'm going to show you what I have and just let this sentence be kind of like inspiration. Just don't go crazy, just like write a paragraph based off this, or a paragraph or two, whatever you feel like fits the prompt more. How, if you're not creatively inspired, like, don't bother with it. But if it's something like, ooh, that's a good start of like a cool idea, then let's run it, let's do it.
Stop dreaming, start booking. Your next trip is just a deal away on price.
Prize line, kill me. Sorry. I promise I will give you the prompt. I know you all really wanted homework today, so here's the prompt. I have it. I'll copy it and paste it. Just like if you're interested in also writing, here's the prompt. It is this: the message inside the fortune cookie, which contained only 4 words, has become my fate. All right, you got that? The message inside the fortune cookie, which contained only 4 words, has become my fate. There you go. And look, listen. You can ignore me completely, and that's completely fine. I'm gonna try it and like, just write a little something that like, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Like, set a timer of like 2 minutes, and then force yourself to like write something that's based on this, and then at the end of it's gone. At the end of the 2 minutes, just see what you have. It's a nice little exercise. But yeah, I'm gonna try it. Obviously not here, but there you go. The message inside the fortune cookie, which only contained 4 words, has become my fate. Also, I've been told that it's a good idea to have a Discord for these kind of things. I do not know how Discord works. Technically, there's one that exists right now, but I don't really know how to operate it, so I can send the link at a future date. It's just not ready yet, but be prepared for that. And if anyone is more savvy with that, then I would greatly appreciate it. But remember, the message inside the fortune cookie, which only contained 4 words, has become my fate. One last thing for anyone else here, and then I'll let you get out of here. I need to go eat dinner. One last thing is that we've got a little bit of a decision to make, a little bit of a deciding factor. Is that one other thing I want to do potentially on the stream when we're not writing, or when we're when we need a break from the writing or we need a break from it is I think it would be really fun if we did some reading on stream. And I know that sounds boring, but I promise I will make it interesting. I have 3 books here that are outside of the public domain that right now we are, all, how many people are here right now? All 4 of us. Are there 4 of us right now? I don't know. That all of us are going to vote on. And they're all outside of the public domain, so I can read them on stream and, it doesn't mess with copyright, and maybe it'll give us more inspiration for, the future. So the 3 books that we are voting between are, hold on, I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to completely disorient you guys. Whoa, that is really weird. I'm sorry to jump scare you like that. So we have Sense and Sensibility, Jane Austen. Never read it. I have not read any of these also, so this will be new for all of us, unless you've already seen it. But Sense and Sensibility. We have The Telltale Heart and Other Writings of Edgar Allan Poe. So this is like a book of Edgar Allan Poe's writings. Oh, thank you, Mom. Good book. Well, these are all your books, so I would hope you think they are good. And then Mark Twain, The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. So again, all 3 of these books I have never actually gotten to read before. But these are our options. So I am going to put a poll. Just take one more good look at them. They're all in really good condition for the physical books. I'm going to put a poll, and then feel free to vote. Oh, why is it a yes or no? Why is it yes or no? What? Huh? Oh, there. Sense and Sensibility. Edgar Allan Poe or Huckleberry Finn. And start poll. Yes. Haha. Okay. So go ahead and if you're here, vote on that. And we will see which book that we get to read. And again, haven't read all of these, so it'll be like a book reaction kind of thing. Be very fun. Be very cool. I'm gonna take down your homework. Save. I'm gonna be honest, there was not a lot of positive reaction to the homework, so I'm guessing that that's gonna be a hard sell. But you know what? Gosh darn it, I'm allowed to try. What was I gonna do? Oh yeah. Let's see. Looks like we got 2 for Sense and 1 for Huckle. And that appears to be all the viewers that are here right now. So I am sorry. Well, I'm glad you like homework. I'm sorry for whoever voted Huckle, but it seems that the consensus is we are going to be reading from Jane Austen, Sense and Sensibility. Boom. Exciting. We'll probably dedicate, I don't know, maybe like half hour end of each stream. I mean, depending if I get my homework done on time. Also, let me fix this because it is really bugging me. Just this difference. Oh yeah. There we go. That feels much better. Gonna be reading this maybe like 30 minutes end of each stream. Just to get like a vintage book club. It'll be like book reaction, Sense and Sensibility. I can't believe Eleanor's moving to the window. What? Yeah, should be fun. So once again, thank you all. I hope that you have enjoyed your time. I hope I haven't been too annoying. Let me know any suggestions you have of like we were talking about, like indie stuff, like Epic the Musical or stuff that would be, copyright fine for me to react to. As long as it's story related, I want to dive into it and yeah, it's exciting. Real life book reaction. I know, crazy. So yeah, thank you all for watching. This has been a lovely time. I am going to go get myself some dinner, and I hope you all have a lovely evening. Always remember,
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
one more time.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
I hope you all have a great evening, and I will see you Tuesday, 3:30. That's 2:30? 3:30. Hold on. Wait. Let me say what I actually put down. That's also not copyright free. Tuesday at 3:30. That's the plan. Okay. See you then. Have a wonderful evening. I'll catch you guys later. God bless. Goodbye.